it's not going to be a good night for anyone from Geelong. But yes, the Cats, unfortunately, we've gone down to the Giants again 5 times in a row. Can you believe it? 5 times in a row at Kardinia Park. It was the Giants, 16 goals, 19, 105 to the Cats. A very wasteful 14 goals, 17, plus a couple of out of bounds on the full in the fourth quarter. 14 goals, 17, 101. Thank goodness I didn't do this straight after the game. And I'm still not in a good mood. And I appreciate that I sit on the other side of the fence. And I understand that. And I couldn't kick a footy to save my life. I couldn't kick a football, but I can kick a football. But I can't play the game to save my life. And it is easy to judge. But I got to tell you, I got to be honest, I'm really frustrated. I'm really, really frustrated. I didn't think we were a middling team. I think we're a middling team. I really do. I'm concerned about where this season's going. We could be here next week. Absolutely euphoric, lining up for grand final tickets once again for the 5th or the 6th time this year. But unfortunately, we look average again all over. Some good things to like about tonight, and I'm sure we'll cover those. I know we've got some angry people in the chat. I've seen that. I've seen that already. Just having a quick look at the chat now. Shadu, I can see you. Mighty Sparlock. Amy, welcome. Jake, Grover, Qatar. Magnus is there as well. And Kiri and Lucas is fuming, roaming. I can see you as well. So there's a little bit to cover tonight. As I said, there's some good things to take out tonight. I guess I'm sitting here a couple of hours, 2.5 hours after the game, though, still quite upset with a few things that happened today. And just the general, I guess, the competitiveness from what I could see. As I said, can't play the game to save my life. If you're a Cats player watching this or anyone that's played footy in their life, I'm just putting that there now. But I just saw a team, an orange team tonight, just kick it from one end of the ground to another with not of a hell of a lot of competition. And when you're down on defenders, which we were, fair enough, and it's getting into the GWS forward line so easily. Goodness me, there's like 17 orange butlers out there just serving it up on Jesse Hogan's dinner plate. What the hell is going on? So I'm not happy about it, but anyway, you don't want to hear from me. You want to hear from the regulars. I did run a poll though, and the Vella family is here. They've come in late, but not late, sorry, 30 seconds late, but everyone's nice and early today. But I did run a poll, and the Vellas were the most popular one to get on first. So I'm going to bring them in. Paul, I'll get you on very soon. But let me just get rid of my little graphic first. There we go. All right. Could just be one of them, one of the Vellas tonight. Hello, one of the Vellas.
How's it going? No, she's coming at some point. I don't know.
Has she cracked it? She's cracked it? Have you cracked it?
I've cracked it, yeah. I'm just filthy. This one hurts. This seriously hurts. Oh, man.
What's your takeaway from it?
The word of the day is why. The amount of times I heard just, I don't know. Bianca, say something. What are we going to say?
I'm pissed.
Ooh.
Oh, my goodness.
We had so many flipping opportunities to cook the bloody goal.
Yep.
Let's hit the post. Then Danger, 30 minutes out, kicks it to Neil when he should have gone for goal. Mana plays on.
I feel like I walked away from the ground feeling like Virat Kohli and like GWS with Scott Boland. Like, we just like, we melted. Like, I haven't seen the replay yet. It was at the other end, but like, I don't understand why Dangerfield didn't just kick the goal. I don't know. Maybe he was 70 meters out, but from where I was, he looked like he was 30 to 40 out, and he tries to pass it to Shannon Neal.
Yeah.
Even if Shannon Neal marked that ball,
he
wasn't going to kick the goal.
Play on. It was a 10-meter kick, wasn't it? It's like, Shannon Neal, come on.
Goal. Like, I don't know. There's real anger there in this one.
My voice is already gone. Like,
This is the one we should have won. We should have won that. And
but also, some of the umpires.
We're not even going to talk about umpires today.
I know.
Because we kicked 17 behinds. We didn't need the umpires.
I can't believe we got it down there so much, considering how we couldn't get our hands on the ball, but we just seemed to, that was probably one of the shining lights, I guess, is that we got it inside 50, maybe 15 or so more times than they did. But I don't know how that happened, but I'm sure we'll get people on tonight that'll be really proud of the way the Cats played. And as always, Cats did some things really, really well. But the amount of mistakes, my God.
There were a lot of inside 50. Like, it looks so hard. Like, trying to just get a mark inside 50.
And I'm sorry, I just missed.
And then it was almost as if you could hear the GWS players say, Geelong, watch this. This is how you do it. Just take it from one end, and it'd just be Jesse Hogan. Boom.
And
it's
I'm
like,
sorry.
why can't we just do that?
And I'm sorry. And I'm sorry, Mitch Duncan hit the bloody hand passes, man.
He was all right.
Yep.
He was okay.
Kicked a nice goal.
Yeah, he did kick a nice goal. I don't want to bash it.
I don't know.
It's hard. I don't want to bash players. I don't want. But it's bloody hard. I don't do it. I don't want to do it. But
okay, bash the team. What did the team do wrong?
And he almost cried.
Well, that's normal. He's a passionate Geelong supporter. But what did the team do wrong without naming any players? Because I'm kind of with you. I try not to. Sometimes emotions get the better of me, and like everyone stuffs up. And as I said off the top, I make mistakes all the time too. In my job, so everyone's allowed to make mistakes, but the organisation.
My brother came to the game with us today. He hasn't been to a Geelong game for a long time. And so I don't think he's ever seen Shannon Neal before. I was like, he's got the nickname Neely. He's Shannon Neely. He's like, why do you call him that? Well, by the last quarter, he's laughing his head off because he's just like, everyone around us is just like, oh, man. Just think Neely. He almost had it that time.
At the start of the game, like last week, he was clunking everything.
Oh, not everything.
Everything.
Clunkers Neil, I've been calling him sitting on the couch. At times he looks great. He does. He looks fantastic at times. And what did he kick a goal today? A couple of goals or a goal?
Someone who I thought did really well, besides the miss, hit the post, was Mark Blitzos.
Yeah.
He was good. I don't want to. It's hard when your one mistake happens right at the end. 2 weeks in a row, I should say. But thankfully we won last week. But yeah, he was for me clearly. I know Bailey Smith got lots of possessions and all that, but
it's now a curse.
Blitzos for me was best on ground.
But it's now a curse. 5 weeks, 5 times in a row. It's a curse.
Hey, Declan, what was the most disappointing part of your night? Do you remember?
What was it?
It was when Shannon Neal kicked the goal.
And there was no tequila.
No tequila. Different song.
What happened? They jinxed us.
Declan was really upset about that. He's been waiting for weeks to hear tequila, and no tequila this week.
Declan, I'll be honest with you, Declan. I did something really, really wrong today. I have a superstition that when you sing the opposition's club song when they come out, it's really bad luck. And I got through about half of it, and then I just must have got distracted by some shiny object somewhere, and then I started saying, it's a big, big sound. And I'm like, what are you? And then
Направление? Какое направление?
Well, there's a big, big sound from the west of the...
No, it's not us.
Sorry, mate, you left me on the back end.
Oh, there he is.
Go away. Oh, my God.
What the heck happened there?
Paul. You know Paul, the naughty boy who sometimes takes control of Postgame Live. He pushed the wrong button.
Mom, get my Ninja Turtle mask.
Don't worry. We'll give him some payback soon.
Yeah,
I hope he's wearing his Ninja Turtle T-shirt too. Oh, wow. That was a hard loss, though.
It is.
Try and find some positives. What were some positives from it?
Midfield worked pretty good.
Jed Buse.
Midfield worked pretty good. Jed Buse there. Jed Buse was nice. Nice to have Jed Buse.
Yep.
But also, you have to
Missing.
say, if we had Jack Henry and Tom Stewart, they wouldn't have scored a goal. And Lawson. In the last
And
one.
Lawson, that's right.
And
Yeah.
Hello, Mummy. Thanks.
Happy Mother's Day.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh.
Yeah,
I've got a different one this week. There you
We got to have a laugh, don't we?
I'll tell you what, Bianca's not winning 2025 Fan of the Year, that's for sure.
go.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's up to you.
What are some more positives? What can we say? I mean, I thought, shit. It's hard to find positives when we lose like that. I don't know whether you'd rather lose like that or get absolutely pumped. Because, like,
And in some ways, I'm happy they fought really hard in the fourth quarter, and I can forgive the mistakes.
yeah.
And those missed shots on goals, and I feel bad for Blitzarves. You know, those things happen.
Yeah.
And just the rest of it, for the 4 quarters, I was just pulling my hair out the whole time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we expect a lot, don't we? I mean, that's the thing. You know, if we didn't expect much, we wouldn't probably get so upset about it. But we rate the club so highly, and you expect them to do so much better with what we've seen, even throughout this year, not just years gone by, but this year. We've just come off beating Collingwood.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
This I don't know.
If we beat Collingwood, how did we not beat GWS and Carlton?
Because it's
Who are we playing next week?
it's a Port Adelaide, I think.
Okay, I don't think that's.
It's a flat out curse now. This one was the one where it actually becomes a monkey on your back because of just like.
Yep.
Because now the next time we play them, it's just going to be you're going to go into it going, oh no, you're going to start feeling it.
Did Blitzarves miss 2 goals from set shots tonight from memory?
I don't think so.
I feel like there was another one he missed along the way somewhere. What's he kicked tonight? 0-2. Yeah, he must have had another shot at goal. Yeah. Well, Sam DeConning's dropping chest marks. We're trying to be positive, but Sam DeConning dropping chest marks. Ollie Henry dropping easy ones at 40 metres out. Mark O'Connor.
Yeah, what are Mark O'Connor one that was really bad.
What are these things attached to my wrists? Oh, their hands. Oh, what's this air conveyance coming my way?
Yeah, there was one on half forward where they've kicked it to Mark O'Connor. It would have hit him in the face. It was that perfect. He dropped it and it led straight to a goal. Like it was that night. But like I've got to see that play again. I'm going to be having nightmares about that play. We're up by a point where we've got the turnover. Dangerfield's got it, and you're thinking Dangerfield's just going to kick the goal.
Man.
And he's tried to pass it to Neil. I've got to see that replay because from where I was, that really hurt because we then went all the way back and Riccardi kicked the goal. We could have been up by 7 points.
I said,
that would have been 7-point lead.
Walking back to the car after the game, it's a long walk. It always is, but I'm like, what I need is a really old secondhand TV, and I need like an old house that I own. You know, that I can just sort of connect the TV up, put the fourth quarter on, and when things go bad, just pick the TV up and just throw it. Like, I don't know a famous Australian discus
to the game
thrower, but I just want to throw it into the wall. I was so angry. Like, God, put that quarter in the bin. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Did you go to the game?
I went to the game, and it was a lovely game. It was good. The mums got their flowers, and the people behind us were pretty annoying, but they usually are. Hello, if you're watching. I don't think I've showed you my face, but no, there's the people around us are generally pretty good, and yeah, it was a lot of lead changes in that game, wasn't there, Bianca? I think there was about 10 lead changes or something like that. So I guess. You know, and you look at the headlines on AFL.com again, and it says, one of the best games of the year, you know, and I'm like, they say that every single week. Like, Why don't they just put Geelong on 24/7, Channel 7? Like, it's clearly we're the best club to watch. Clearly, like, that's why we've got 140 people watching right now because they love the Geelong Cats. Hello, everyone. If you're watching on Twitter, yes, we are on Twitter tonight. Jump over to YouTube though; it helps us a little bit. But we just thought we'd drop this one on Twitter or X tonight for the young people out there that don't remember it being called Twitter. All right, let's get your 3, 2, 1s, and then we'll get grumpy Mr. Paul James on.
Could be hard. Oh, it could be hard.
Now, Declan, you go first.
Declan. No, come on, give us 3, 2, 1. Let's have a guess. Come on, who did you like? Who played well?
One player.
Who?
The Connie.
What?
Oh, he's not going to be popular. He won't be popular.
Do a poll.
I'll
Have you already done one?
All right, I'll do a poll. Well, Paul, can you do the poll for us if you know how to do it? Thumbs up if you can. No, he's shaking his head. He's technically not savvy.
Okay,
right.
let me help you. So
You do that. I'll do the poll while you do that. While you give me your tips. What was your question? Was it the worst player?
Bill Cavs.
Bill
You're
Cavs.
an idiot.
Bill Cavs.
So where are you going? You go. So what was the 3?
Mark Cavs.
Yeah. Blitzarves. 2.
Skip it. No.
Tough one.
Yeah, you go.
Now I haven't seen any stats or anything, so this is just going off. Yeah.
The eye test.
Just from the eye test. So I'll go 3 Blitzarves. Really easy.
Yep.
Then there's a big gap there, but 2 I'll go Bailey Smith.
Yeah, I was
Yep.
thinking that.
A lot of meters gained. The 1, I thought he was great only until the last 3 minutes. I'll say Manor.
Sean Manor. Okay.
Because I just remember he got 2 really good rundown tackles, I think, through the game. I think he kicked 2 goals or 3 goals.
2.
Oh, I'm going to give Ollie Dempsey.
Oh, yeah, you have to put Ollie Dempsey in there.
Actually, no. I'll change my mind. 1 Ollie Dempsey. Yeah, no.
Are we getting Max Holmes in there or not?
No. I thought he was very fumbly. From what I saw, having said that, I haven't watched it again. But this is just straight from the car. He was from what I saw, he was really fumbly. I don't know how much the ball he got, but I don't know. Maybe he was great, but I'm gonna watch it again. But I don't really want to watch it again.
Sean Manor's going to be controversial. I've got Bailey Smith, Mark Bledsoe, Sean Manor, and Ollie Dempsey.
But also,
what did Manor finish with, anyways?
15.
Yeah, but
15 touches, 2 goals.
Also, if we had Jack Henry, Tom Stewart, and Lawson Humphries, no offense, but
we might have stopped them from kicking goals, but we've still got to kick the goals.
We may have.
Because
they're not going to help us kick goals. Like, they might have stopped GWS from kicking goals.
It was 4
We've
points.
still got to kick the goal.
Yeah, it was 4 points. So if we stop them from kicking 1 goal, then we win.
Yeah, but we kicked 17 points.
Oh, bad kicking is bad football.
Yes.
That's what Mrs. Hoops always says. Bad kicking is bad football. And we didn't deserve it today. Impressed that we got very close. I'm sick of losing by 4 points to GWS at home. Seems to be a theme.
And Brisbane was it Brisbane? Brisbane and Freeland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In these really big games, we just keep losing by less than a goal.
I have to say, I love the energy tonight, Bianca. And
school
tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you got to get some sleep, but and I don't know how you're going to get. I'm not going to get some sleep for a long time because
neither am I.
I'll be doing this for about 2 hours tonight. Yeah, and you've got to get up nice and early and go to school. So
not nice and early.
Early-ish.
You have to wake up at 5.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, that's not fair. That's not fair. Oh, well, on to next week. Hopefully we'll be euphoric again in a week's time and we'll forget all about this lot.
Fine. Because we stopped you at Sam DeConnie. It was like,
oh, yeah. No, Declan, finish it off. Who have you got?
Go for it. 3?
Bailey Smith.
3 Bailey Smith, all right.
Good call.
Sean Manor 2.
Sean Manor 2, okay. Sean Manor 2. One.
Dangerfield.
Dangerfield.
No, Bill Cav's in there.
That's all right.
It's okay. He sees the game differently, all right?
Yeah, right.
Danger was great
guru.
when he wasn't on the bench in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
That's another story altogether. But anyway, what can you do? All right. Thank you for coming on again. Let's go well next week. Hopefully, we'll get you back on next week after a win. All the best.
150% if we lose to Port Adelaide. Help Rioli. Help Rioli. They don't have Willie Rioli.
They might.
Yeah.
He's back.
Well,
No,
we'll see. We might have to watch. We'll see if we get enough of the week video coming out soon. We might get that if we're lucky. So Paul can answer that question when he comes up.
Okay.
No umpires. No umpire bashing today. No umpire bashing today.
Did you see someone? When it was
No
on
umpire
Mars,
bashing.
someone was like this. Literally.
No umpire bashing.
All right. See you later.
What do we say?
Go Cats!
Go Cats, even after a loss.
Go
Oh, goodness me. All right. I forgot to mention off the top, everyone. Don't forget, it's not too late. Well, maybe it is. Maybe they shut soon. But Shannon Pizza, massive sponsors of the post-game live show on YouTube, on the Hoops Crew Media Network. We love what they do. We love the pizza, especially one with the Shannon ham. So make sure you help yourself. We are giving help yourself to a pizza, but we are giving away, as always, a free large pizza. Thanks to the lovely people. Thanks to Anthony and the awesome staff at Shannon Pizza on Shannon Avenue in Geelong West. Every week on the Hoops Show, win or lose. And I think we gave it to Amanda last week, who came on the chat. But if you want to win that free pizza, maybe we should have a rule. You got to say Shannon. You got to say at some point Shannon Pizza in the chat, or come on the show. Give yourself a better chance if you actually come on the show. All right, who's next? Paul. I've got to get Paul on because he's juggling a few things at the moment. But let's get Paul on. Here he is. And have I got his little thing ready to go?
What's up?
Yes,
I am
what's up, mate?
multitasking.
You are multitasking. Where's your theme music? Have we got that queued up? I don't know. Yeah, here it is.
Cut it. I better not stick around for too long because I am seeing in the background of the chat, and he's off camera at the moment. But we've got a Dark Lord of the Sith wandering around right now that is ready to jump in and cut strips off people shortly. So I wouldn't want to hold Coach Lucas up for too long.
No.
But let's have at it. Apparently I'm really negative, so you said. So let's go for it. What do you want to talk about?
Well, where do you want to start?
I'm working on a review of The Last of Us at the same time.
You start where you want. I mean, you've kind of, as you said, you're working on your review, but just off the chest, just call it. Don't overanalyze this. Just what were your emotions that were coursing through your veins this afternoon?
Look, I do kind of understand, I guess, a negative perspective that people have on the game, and I don't know. This is one of those ones where, like, I get people kind of taking little swings from time to time because I perhaps, in the eyes of some, don't go hard enough on some players when perhaps they've deserved it. I mean, the thing. I mean, Bianca said it. I've already made the reaction video that'll go live tomorrow. Like at the end of the day, there's the bad kicking is bad football sentiment that I think underpins the whole thing. Mate, you can't go and pin your own comment. Jeez.
It's my show.
You're like some old prick on Facebook that just liked their own Facebook comment. Fucking hell, mate. Anyway. So I've lost track of that now. What'd you ask? Oh yeah, I was rambling about positive.
You were finding positive.
Yeah. At the end of the day, there's the bad kicking is bad football thing. Like, you're all I've turned the comments off on my side, so I don't see them now.
Cool.
I've already had a bit to say about Jai Clark's game, and I won't be defending him on this one, but we'll get back to that shortly. Yeah, there's the bad kicking is bad football thing. All right, can you stop pinning comments for a second? You're losing me here. When I'm hosting, I can just ignore it for a little while. Exactly. The bad kicking's bad football thing, and that, ultimately was the difference between the two teams, really. There's more to it than that, absolutely. But we wouldn't be perhaps in the mood that we all are had even a single one of those set shots, I don't know, you can pick on Mark Blitzarves, you can hone in on the fact that Tyson Stengel kicked a very uncharacteristic 2 goals for. There's several others that missed some gimmies at different stages. You can talk about the, Danger choosing to go, hit up Shannon Neal instead of charge towards goal. There's so many what ifs in a game like this, but you could probably, I can't really think of any off the top of my head because I guess you don't focus on them in the same way. But there was probably what if opportunities for GWS as well. So I don't want to hone in too much on some of those sort of things as well. Chris Scott's already spoken about it in his press conference. I haven't actually listened to it yet, but thankfully some quotes have been broken out where him and the coaches take a little bit of the blame for some decisions made in that first quarter. Just some of the structural ones. So they didn't have, they had Bailey Smith on the wing. Max Holmes wasn't there. They put Jezza in the midfield. They tried to make some clever decisions early game, and it didn't quite work for them. Because certainly from the moment they and we were getting smashed in the clearances at that point. And then once they kind of flipped magnets around and almost kind of resumed a new normal business again, suddenly, I mean, if you look at the numbers, and I've done so because I've recorded the reaction video now, we won the clearances. We won, not just, and the one that normally gets us, we win clearances, but then lose center clearances. No, we won both in the end. We got our hands on the ball where it counted a lot. And it's kind of in some ways, there's a lot of parallels between this game and the Carlton one, where it was critical errors at critical moments, as opposed to the wheels just completely falling off. And, a lot of those critical errors were in front of the sticks, but there were, some bad decisions at different stages also that, gave the ball back to GWS when, I can't remember what the number was. I think I saw someone saying 7 or 8. There was about 7 or 8 goals kicked from half-back turnovers that just went steaming straight back up the other end of the ground. And a lot of those, in any game, not just this one, but a lot of those, when it gets turned over at that point, they are critical errors. It's not I mean, there's certainly components, there's some brilliant half-backs out there, but, often it's, it's a butchered kick, a missed handball, whatever it is. And then the way especially GWS plays, and you could see signs of the old orange tsunami coming back at different stages through the game. Like, you give a team like that a sniff and they just take off. Oh, there's our Dark Lord, and he's now got a fire in the background. Don't mess. He's stronger than ever before. Is that just lighting under a TV? I think it's just lighting under a TV. Everyone look forward to Lucas coming on later. It's fantastic. He does. He has fire. This is
worth staying up for, people. Tell a friend. Tell a friend.
Yeah. Where's old mate, the Carlton supporter?
Oh, Scotty's not here yet. I don't think.
Scotty's right when you need him.
Scotty in the chat. Let us know.
If Scotty's there, you might want to come on later, mate. Anyway, I think for the most part it's just a case of critical errors. Now there are some players that absolutely, I think, didn't hold up their end of the bargain. I didn't see who it was that dropped the comment before that asked the question about Jai Clark. Oh, Andos. Yep. About Jai Clark's game. Like, he was woeful. In terms of, there were some moments throughout the game, and it might have been me just, paying close attention at the right time, where he really put his body on the line and threw himself in there. But I think he just doesn't have that ability to win the ball in the heat of an AFL level match yet, maybe ever. He could be I hate to kind of, dunk on the other bloke here, but he could be a George Holland Smith here, who's is an exceptional VFL player, but never quite makes it at the AFL level. There's a bit of me that also thinks like he's got the right temperament for it, and he just needs to get his body right. Like, in some respects, he also feels like a baby Guthrie here, before puberty hit him. And he finally bulked up a bit. And also suddenly the facial hair appeared at the same time. So again, puberty. I think there's a little bit of that to it as well, but he's not doing enough. I think it was 3 disposals from 44% game time. Ted Closey came on and didn't have much of an impact either. Yeah. Brendan's just dropped Billy Smets 2.0 in there.
Yep.
And Nomad's dropped, Jai Clark equals Cooper Stevens. I mean, I guess Cooper never got a game for us, but I think right now he's just not quite there. I think he's got I think the temperament is right. The way he wants to play the game is right. But either the skill set or the body is not where it needs to be yet to be able to compete at this level. And maybe he just needs time then. Maybe it's as simple as that. Maybe he just needs time. But like he showed fantastic signs last week. I thought, oh, hang on, this is it. Yeah. Like, and he threw his body out there, like I would argue, like he did this week. But the ball winning was there. There was a bit of that game sense that was on, and it just wasn't there this week at all.
Maybe it's the opponent. GWS and Collingwood are very, very different styles of football, and
they are.
And he looked suited to the Collingwood style of footy, the contest and getting on his knees and getting dirty. But today he just looked like, what is he doing? I didn't think he was that bad, but maybe I was looking at other people. I probably had my eye on.
I mean, he barely touched it. That's the problem.
Yeah,
if you're gonna get in there in the coal face,
true.
I'm not looking for him to get 30 disposals a game. Like that's totally fine. I'd be satisfied if he got at this point in his development. I'd be satisfied if he got mid-teens. Maybe not from 44% game time, but if you played a typical amount of game time, I'd be okay with mid-teens, mid to late teens at this point of his development. That's fine. But to play half a game, touch it 3 times,
it's not good enough.
Yeah, it's not good enough. Anyway,
I'll tell you what I didn't like though, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this because I thought when we got the ball, yes, we missed some shots on goal. You live with that, I guess. I mean, you'd like to be on the.
Well, we typically don't have days like that, so I'm willing to excuse it. And again, like the likes of Tyson Stengel.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he's maybe not necessarily in this chat. I don't think I've really seen his name pop up at all. I think, but we've got a really awesome, respectful community here. Yeah. But I'm sure on social media there's going to be people that are going to take swings at him for 2 goals for. But that is so uncharacteristic of him. And for me, like we've been talking about him. I've been talking about him quite a lot because I've kind of bundled him in that same group as Ollie Henry and Shannon Neal, who'd been really struggling for this. Me going back to my same old thing, but have been kind of struggling to find their place in this Dangerfield forward line. He absolutely showed during the second half of the Hawthorn game. He had moments last week, and he showed again today that he's starting to find his way out of that and really work out what role he needs to play in. Which I guess how him as a small forward works in that space. And I think this was a big step forward. He had the shots on goal. He just had an off day in front of the sticks. I'll give him a pass.
I was going to ask you.
It sucks. What did the game, but it sucks.
What did you think about the Cats when we didn't have the ball? And I'm not talking about when it's flying inside 50, but just all across the ground, because that's what was pissing me off all day today. Just the ease of movement and the lack of contest, the lack of getting a hand. I mean, I know teams can, and again, frustrating as a Geelong supporter when you're watching another team and they're deliberately playing keepings off. But GWS were going up the guts.
He's spinning the ball on his finger. Sorry, just dropping a
kick, mark, goal. It was like, oh my God, and that happened so many times. And I'm like, okay, 1 quarter, I get it. Even a couple of quarters, I get it. Like, fix it, do something about it. Like, what is going on? And then you get Jesse Hogan kicking 7 goals, 1. Like, yeah, maybe normally he would have kicked 5 goals, 3 or something like that. But the amount of times it just got in there, went 150 metres from one end to the other without any Cats sort of putting any pressure on at all. It just drive me nuts. I was going to ask, but I'm ranting now.
We've seen bits of this over many years, though. Geelong, for the longest time, from a kick out, for example, we've missed a shot or whatever. We often, I've kind of found, and I've been a little bit critical of it, that we've kind of let the opponent at least get it to their defensive 50 relatively easily. There's not been the level of pressure that they perhaps should be at that particular point. Today, I felt like that extended a bit further up the ground, which allowed the Giants to get it to that. I've been talking about the launch zone a little bit, mostly in the Geelong context and what we've been able to do with it. But in this case, I think we let the Giants get it into that area far too easily, and so then they were pumping it in from 70 meters out thereabouts. And massive credit. Look, we didn't defend very well, but a massive credit to Jesse Hogan, who played. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, there probably won't be a better key forward game this season. I know there might be bigger bags kicked. Because someone will fill their boots on a West Coast or a North Melbourne or something. If anyone, it's probably going to be Charlie Kerner, who doesn't mind kicking bags against shit teams and then disappears when it counts. But You didn't mind that.
You're not getting back on the Carlton show anytime soon.
His Coleman years, he kicked just to be clear, his Coleman years, he kicked 20 against the Eagles across the 2 games he played. He would have been about 5th had it not been for that, or if he even halved that. But anyway, feel your boots, Charlie. Go for your life. Make yourself look good.
Another 7 against us later in the year.
Yeah, but I don't think there'll be a better key forward game from him this year. But that said, we allowed them to get it to really key positions on the ground too easily, and then Sam DeConing was pretty well outplayed by him. And the thing that gave me the shits, and I've said this a lot over the years, and I've done it again in my reaction video, fucking childish behaviour from Sam. Spat the dummy on a few occasions, flinging his arms around, not just kind of giving up running. Not saying Sam's the reason we lost, just to be crystal clear, but there were, and his stats, if you look at his stats, you go, oh, pretty solid game. But there was some eye test stuff to this one that for me, I really didn't approve of the game that he compiled today.
I don't think you'll be the only one having a crack at Sam DeConning today.
And again, numbers wise, it looks good, but yeah, there's the eye test. There's a bit of stink to his game that I didn't like. That said, the troops are on the way back. I am going to talk about Jed because I love Jed. The troops are on the way back. Lawson will be back next week. Now he's not going to deal with the Jesse Hogan, of course, but Lawson will be back next week. Collar, Jack Henry, Tom Stewart, they're all probably 1 to 2 tops, maybe even due back next week. Like a top tier key forward, probably the best key forward in the competition at the moment, caught us on a week when we had no key defenders. Doesn't help our cause, right?
No,
but there was structurally we didn't give our defenders much of an opportunity either. I think there was a few key decisions, a few letdowns, and structurally and from the coach's box that gave the likes of Jesse Hogan ample opportunities to thrive. Before Hogan, really lit it up, Jake Stringer was firing. And he was, playing that kind of key forward role at that stage as well. We just didn't structure up very well. Thank God Jake Stringer went down because he was on fire pretty early as well.
I wonder where he went. And then I was like, he must be injured because they've made a sub. Yeah. Mitch Hardy in the mid-season draft, thoughts?
No.
Tom Hawkins?
Enough said. Now, Tomahawk, on the other hand, he's dobbing him from the boundary line at Finley. So, yeah, we'll take him back.
Take him back. Yep.
I'm sure that'll go down well with the Hawkins family. Didn't see fit to bring him in for the finals. Retired the bloke, and then said, "No, we'll take you as a mid-season draft pick." But anyway,
go time AFL.
Here for the theatre. Now, hang on. The comment was made from roaming before about Jed. And go time as well. I love the run that Jed brings. I don't want to see him fall out when the troops start coming back, and that is a bit of a worry for me because it's pretty hard to make an argument against any of those 4 that are due to come back.
All right, just keep looking at the Dark Lord. The Lord Lucas, he's literally like this in the green room.
He's got the sway. He's got the angry emojis next to his name. He's referring to himself now as Lord Lucas as well. Buckle in, people. Get your popcorn.
Get your bloody popcorn.
Star Wars Episode 10 is coming tonight. And it's probably going to be better than episode 7, 8, and 9. By the way, wouldn't take much.
Get your lights. I should have had a Star Wars sort of graphic ready for him, ready to go.
Wasn't you got some time. I'll ramble for a little bit if you want to make something because it's not.
No.
We're not that far removed from Star Wars week.
You deal with the chat for 2 seconds, and I'll.
Yeah, sure. The question has come up. Lucas, be prepared. Face the camera for a second, mate. I'm gonna throw you up on the big screen in a second so people can see. Because the comment has been asked by either moment, is he wearing a cape? Here's Lucas. Right. More on that later. A cape and not much else. Yeah, look, he could be free balling. We'll see. But again, that's for later in the show. That's post-game live after dark or after midnight, whatever.
Yep.
And probably on OnlyFans and certainly not a YouTube gig. Anyway, enough. This is late show bullshit. What else do we need to say? Yeah, look, I think you're right. We gave them plenty of opportunities to dispose with relatively uncontested. But there was also I don't even know how the metric is formed. Can someone in the comments, or do you know even, Ben? Like, I see Fox Footy, and let's ignore the commentary for a second. But the pressure rating, how does that stat get generated? What KFC herbs and spices go into that to generate that number? Because there was several different, and I wasn't even contesting that was wrong. But there was several different stages where our figure was well above the Giants, and I would agree the eye test kind of matched it. But then we were just butchering the ball, giving it up in critical stages. I don't know. There's just little frustrations for me here. But yeah. I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I know you had a little bit of a tanty at the beginning of the show. Yeah, I was going to take a swing at you for that. You had a bit of a cry at the beginning of the show saying we're a mid-tier team or whatever, mediocre club or whatever.
Anyone who watches this show knows that's my style.
I know, because I see the comments in the YouTube afterwards comparing you and I.
Oh my God, I'm out of control. I know I'm
out
of
control. Be nice to Ben, just because he's a fair weather supporter.
I'm not. I'm up. I'm up, and I'm up, and I'm up. And what did I tip? I picked the Cats to come.
And when we lose, we're going to finish bottom of the ladder in your eyes.
Yeah, probably. Nah, we'll be fine. I think I'm ready. I'm ready to get Lucas on. So I'll let you go and record your reaction video.
No, so reaction video is done, so people can stay tuned for that one in the morning. We'll have to work out where Nuff of the Week, which, as you highlighted before, is absolutely Willy Rioli.
Yes.
We'll have to work out where that's going to drop. We were hoping that we could do it today and maybe squeeze it in post-game and before post-game live. But Mother's Day, well, I need to prioritize Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there too, by the way, if you haven't already done it.
Happy Mother's Day to them all.
But yeah, that we'll work out where to squeeze that one in. But the reaction video is done. Ben, it's on the YouTube back end for you to stick a thumbnail on and schedule for whenever you want to schedule it for tomorrow. I'm going to go write a review for The Last of Us episode 5.
You do that. Spin some plates. Hopefully next week I won't be whinging again. I'll be tipping the Cats to finish top 2 and going on a 16-game winning streak like we did in 2022 when we were 5-4. I don't think that happens all the time, but I'd like to think it could happen again. It probably won't. Anyway,
we'll see. All
right, stay.
Early days.
All right, mate. Are you going to stick around in the back end and check out this Lucas situation?
If Lucas is coming on next, then I need to stick around. Otherwise, then I'll get to work at the same time. So, as you kick me out, all hail the Dark Lord.
All hail Dark Lord, everyone. Let's hear it in the chat. Hail to the Dark Lord. See you, mate.
See ya.
All right, this is going to be interesting. I'm going to give him the full Lucas, just so you know. I'm giving you, apologies, Lord Lucas. I'm giving Lord Lucas the full screen here. So in just a moment, actually, I'll say hello to him first, and then I'll get him the full screen. Here he is. Hello, Lord Lucas. Does Lord Lucas have a microphone?
Well, it does have a microphone, and he's not happy from what happened today. 3 sacrifices are needed at this Geelong Football Club. 1, Jeremy Cameron. 2, Clark. 3, Shannon Neal. The candle is burning, but it's slowly dying as for those 3 careers. What an absolute that was.
Sorry, I nearly got rid of you. Sorry, Dark Lord. Put the candle down. Tell us more about your feelings.
Well, I was feeling very confident today. Very optimistic that this curse will be broken. Unfortunately, it wasn't, and we played disgusting football. Don't know what happened, but, well, I do know what happened. It seems to me Jesse Hogan was crafting his own witchcraft. He became the invisible man because no one decided to fucking go near him when he was marking ball. I can't remember one single time Jesse Hogan took a contested mark that led to the goal. DK played his worst ever game. Zach Guthrie didn't know how to defend him. It was just absolutely embarrassing. Why they were playing so much off him, I have no idea. But it was just a total joke. Inconsistent teams do not win flags. Look at us when we won our flag. We were consistent at the back end. Collingwood were consistent all year when they won their grand final. Brisbane were consistent all year when they won their grand final. Consistency wins grand finals, not bottleism. And this team is filled with spineless, bottleless individuals. They don't want to put their head over the ball. They don't want to step up when the crucial time's right. Jeremy Cameron, first half fantastic. Second half disappears. Puts his own little dark witchcraft event on himself. He needs to go back to the twos. He needs to go back to fine form. He can't kick a set shot to save his life. The death beam is on the earth, and he couldn't save us if he was 10 meters out. He needs to be dropped to the twos. Shannon Neal, how can you drop that? You make a good contested player, you beat him, then you drop an absolute sitter. Right, back to the twos where you belong. You know, Max Holmes, you know, ball magnet, but where? All I saw him was turn it over. So it was like Connor Rosie. All he did was turn it over. He did nothing with his 30 touches. Absolutely nothing. That's why Port didn't win. And they had the Lord on their side. And they still didn't win. So it's just an absolute embarrassing. I was hoping to come on with the red shorts and celebrate. But unfortunately, I've been let down by this absolute drones, robots of players. That consistency let you down when you think I'm feeling good about yourselves. We beat Collingwood, but in the end, they just let you down. And there's no witchcraft, there's no spells, no potions. Just some wizard dickhead at Hawthorn, you know, who's now 6-2 on top of the ladder. So, and that's just unacceptable. And we bet that team. We put our own witchcraft of ourselves, and the wizard became nothing. But unfortunately, we've turned into nothing. We can't win games. We can't be consistent. Games we should win, we lose. Carlton today, St Kilda. That will not win you flags.
Sorry, Dark Lord. Some Padawan is posting sort of stuff on the screen while you're talking. What was the Darth the light beam is shining on? Who was the light? Who was the beam shining on again? The death beam, I think we're calling it.
The death beam was on Earth, and Jeremy Cameron was at the end of it, and his set shots let us down. You know, Tyson Stengel, you know, two absolute jolly misses. One when he hit the post in the first quarter, missed late. Yeah. His form this year hasn't been good as well. Probably he needs a spell in the twos. Mark Blitzard, you know, you're directly out in front, mate. It ain't that hard. Tim could have used a goal. Seriously, mate. Just a dismal night. Midfield got blown away in that. It was over in the first quarter. It was literally over in the first quarter. And Chris Scott, once again, we're questioning Chris Scott once again. He did nothing to prevent it. Absolutely nothing. And I've almost had enough of this guy. I'm almost ready to sacrifice him to the witches. So no plan B. I thought Duncan was actually all right. I thought Duncan had an okay game. Kicked the goal early, that first goal early. He turned the ball over a couple of times, but I thought he wasn't our worst player by a mile. But just an unacceptable loss. And consistent teams do not do this. Consistent teams find a way to win. Hawthorn were not that impressive last night or yesterday. They played Melbourne. They were not impressive. Probably should have lost, but they found a way to win. And for some reason, when the going gets tough, we cannot win. Good win against Collingwood, you know, but we just cannot be consistent. I'm going to next week's fucking game against Port. Do you think I want to sit there and watch us fucking lose? I only get to watch these pricks two times a year live. Do you think I want to sit there through that and watch them get beaten by some fucking ferals?
No.
Just pathetic, absolute pathetic, and it's unacceptable. And if we get beaten by Port, with all due respect to Port and their fucking toothless ferals, we might as well not even make finals. And you hit the nail on the head. We're a middling team at this moment. We are a middling team because top teams don't do that. They don't blow teams against Carlton, St Kilda, GWS like that. It's just absolute pathetic. And we can beat Port next week. Could, might, probably won't. Go back to normal. The red shorts will be out probably. But at the same time, if you lose to this team, while I'm there, may God have mercy on your souls. May God have mercy on your souls.
Should do. Willie Rowley has nothing on fucking Lucas's savage comments. Oh,
and
dear.
speaking of really Rioli,
keep it safe.
We'll keep it safe. You want to threaten one of our players, one of the most timid guys at Geelong, who wouldn't hurt a fly, mate? For your sake, you better not be playing because we're going to boo you. We're coming to get you. We're going to boo without racism or religion or personal attacks on family, but we're coming to get you. We're coming to get you, mate. All right? Why didn't you say that to Baz? Why didn't you say that to Paddy? Because I know what they would have done to you. You had to pick the smallest bloke on the field. Dickhead. Not interested. Fuck off.
A lot of comments in the chat, Dark Lord Lucas, about using the pincer movement on who was it? Was it Chris Scott or was it Shannon Neal? The choke through the force. I believe that's sort of something inappropriate you might do at a nightclub. Yeah, but something like that. So it'll be interesting to see whether the Dark Lord comes out at the next week in Adelaide. You might have to bring a couple of changes of clothes just in case, depending on the result. We are looking forward to if Geelong wins. I assume it's conditional upon Geelong winning that you and maybe Kiri getting around and doing some interviews on Postgame Live in the crowd or outside the grounds, wherever it takes you, I suppose. I'm hoping we win. I'm worried about you and I'm worried about the safety of others if we lose. The universe might be destroyed, but I'm looking forward to it regardless.
Well, I've got big plans coming up for next week, but as I said, if the planets align, it'll be all sunset, unicorns, and rainbows. But if we turn up like we did today, there's going to be hell to pay, absolute hell to pay. The apocalypse is coming if they lose right in front of me, there will be no mercy shown towards Geelong. There'll be no mercy. So, and like I said, we've got Kiri coming on. He'll be going. Yep. I'm planning to have a big night at the casino that night. So if Geelong so much has put me in that position where I'm questioning my own team, I'm questioning life, I'm turning over to the dark side, Lord have mercy on those Geelong players. Lord have mercy, because I won't be mercy. They can all go back to the twos. Our reserve team, they can be our AFL team. We'll just switch, because they seem to show more fight and effort compared to what we did today. So it's just not. And if is my queen Vince in the chat tonight?
Not yet, but Vince, if you are in the chat, Vince may be at the ballet still, so it may be too early for Vince just yet. But Vince, if you're there at the Tassie Ballet and you're sort of listening with one Apple earpod in your ear and you just maybe want to sneak out and jump out into the foyer for a little bit and get on the call because Darth Lord wants a word.
Well, I'm looking. I'm trying to stay in character, Ben. Don't make me laugh. If Vince is watching, like I said, I am looking for a queen tonight. In the dark arts, she's at the ballet, which is close enough to witchcraft. So if she could pop on, I even might have shaved the beard off. The beard might have came off just a little bit now down the neck. But it would be very, very disappointing that she wasn't on tonight. And for Scotty Tahotti's sake, I'm glad you're not here, mate, because I was ready to 10 bar. We shall see. We shall see what happens at the Port Adelaide game, because I may not leave. I may not leave Adelaide Oval.
Oh, that'd be funny.
But what should have happened in yesterday's showdown is that after the siren, they should have shut the gates. I reckon Port Adelaide and Adelaide would have been a much safer place that night if they would have just shut the gates and just kept the 53,000 ferals inside the stadium. But unfortunately, they put a tarp over them and send them into the world of oblivion. But that did not happen tonight or last night. The Lord let us down last night. Different Lord. So hopefully that Lord, I will do my best to keep that Lord away from kicking goals next week. I can promise you that. I will work my magic. I will work the witchcraft, and I will keep that Lord away, just for now, away from the Geelong Football Club. But there's no doubt I will bring the Lord. I will bring the Lord to the dark side. I will bring him to Geelong, and he will be playing with us next year. There's no doubt.
He'll join the good side. Dark Lord, I've really enjoyed having you on. We forgot to show our parental advisories, explicit content thing. But no, that's a bit of Dark Lord magic. That's not too bad. I'm sure the kiddies can handle that. You are a week late, I should say, Dark Lord. We did have Star Wars week last week. You are a week late, but I guess you're probably feeling like top of the world. You weren't feeling your normal Dark Lord self last week, so you're feeling a bit more nipply.
The body was naked last week and the mind was free. But I've enclosed myself, surrounded by darkness, where my natural habitat is. I'm working some witchcraft behind me with the candles.
Can we see the candle again?
I'll do just a nice light surrounded by darkness and flames. Too bad neither Geelong players were on flames tonight. They would have won this game. As for my 3-2-1, nobody gets it. You're all pathetic. Nobody gets it. Maybe Bazilenko, that Baz guy with the headband, he was very impressive, but unfortunately he will get no votes because the team was pathetic today. My worst 3-2-1, the worst play on the field, as the flame is dying a slowly death, just like these three Geelong players. Third worst player on the ground, Jezza Cameron. Second worst player on the ground, Jordan Clark. And the first worst person on the ground was Shannon Neal. All need to be
Jordan
sacrificed to the teams.
I was gonna let him go on that one. Thanks, Paul. Jai Clark, I believe you mean, but yeah, Jai Clark.
So hopefully those three souls can be damned to the twos next week to get some confidence, or in Jordan Clark's case, probably never to be seen again, or Shannon Neal. But also a dishonourable mention to Ollie Henry for dropping that mark in that third quarter. He's another one. His form is gone to the dark side. But do not worry. I will fix him up. I will swing the flames. I will bring the spirits, and I will sort him out. But to my good friends there, my good friend Kiri, I will see you at the game. And this is my final absolution before I hide into the darkness. Goodbye, all.
Mate, we were a dating show last week.
We were.
What the fuck happened?
I don't know. We've gone real dark now. Maybe it just, didn't work out.
We were throwing buckets of ice on each other, and people were virtually hooking up from state to state.
Yeah, you missed a show last
first podcast.
You married at first podcast. Well, we did have a different thing for Lucas. I don't know if I got the other one. Yeah. Well, this is the one I had for him last time. This was one that was queued up for today. I had the maths one ready to go, but no. So anyway, if you're new to Postgame Live, Paul does love his Ninja Turtle pajamas. But all right, let's get a couple others going. You buzz off.
I'm getting out of here. I'm done now. I'm out of here. Enjoy, everyone. Right. Have a great show.
See you, mate. All right, it's Kiri's time. Let me just get Kiri's little thingy-jiggy up. Wherever you are. There he is. Boom. Hello.
Yeah, good evening, Ben. Yes, Liverpool Premier League champions. Allay, allay, allay. Allay, allay, allay. Well, that's the only team that's giving me joy at the moment, isn't it, Ben? Oh, bloody hell. Tell you what, like what Paul said, I'm going to say it as well. Bad kicking is bad footy. In the fourth quarter, 3 goals to 5 to GWS. They had 6 goals too. Had we kicked a couple of more, we would have been all right. Paddy Dangerfield, mate, 11 out of 10. If you just went for the goal, you would have kicked it. But what the fuck do you do? I get the Geelong game style, unselfish, a team-orientated sort of game. But when the game is on the line, just be fucking selfish, man. And look, I'm contradicting myself as well because Sean Matter, he tried to win the game off his own bloody boot. But there was a few teammates that he absolutely burnt off, and he did that a couple of times. He did the same thing in the prelim last year, man.
He does it a lot.
Oh, it's just... Look, if this was a young bloke, yeah, fair enough. You go for it. You take risk. Mate, 27, 20, you're nearly 30 years old. You should know, man. You should bloody know, honestly. Like, oh, mate, we should have won that. I just hate losing to these pricks. Can we just sign a petition for a Geelong home games against GWS in Canberra? It's like, they have the wood over us there, mate.
You know what's going to happen come mid-December this year, when usually I think that's when the fixture comes out. I think it's around then. It's pretty much around then. The fixture will come out, and the first thing we'll look at is where are we playing GWS, and it'll be Kidinia Park around about this time, middle of May, and pencil that in for another loss. 100%. I don't think there's a team in 160 years of this football club or thereabouts. Would there be another team that's beaten us more than 5 times in a row at home? And this stupid bloody orange mandarin, bloody carrots, whatever you want to call them. They've come in.
They could get
13 years old, barely got some little curlies down there, and they're still coming in and knocking us off at our home deck every single time.
Take you and your 10 fans back to the fucking cows paddock, wherever you're from as well, and somehow they get a home final. And none of your fucking fans don't even turn up in a rugby league sort of like territory, mate. And somehow we don't get a home final with Geelong. But that's another story. But look, to GWS's credit, they played well. Like more polish with the ball. We just in that first quarter, we just couldn't buy a clearance. So much space. Jesse Hogan just looked like a prime Tony Lockett. Kicking 7 goals, 1, mate. It felt like I was watching Tony Lockett back in the 80s or the 90s. That's just how good he was, and I just couldn't get the bloody damn ball up forward. Too many drop marks. And the Giants just took it away with these from the half-back flank. 2-3 kicks, bang, goal, Just so easy for them, just like a knife through butter.
Yep, and we'll just go up the middle every time because we just don't respect Geelong structures at all. We're just going to kick it 50 metres every time. We're not going to worry about little 20-metre. We're not going to move it up the ground slowly. We're going to 20-metre kick it, sometimes 10-metre kicks, which the umpires were happy to let go. But, yes, we're just going to bomb it long every time because we know we're going to mark it. We know we're going to kick it another 50 metres, and Jesse Hogan's going to mark it with not much fuss and kick like 80% or 85% on the night. But anyway, But look, you said it. GWS are a good team. No one's having a crack at GWS. We don't like them, but everyone can admit they're freaking good when they're on. They haven't been on very much this year, but they're coming down to play Geelong. So why not? Why not turn up with your A grade game and then we just. Oh my God! When we didn't have
you think it was going to happen? You think it was going to happen though, Ben? They're on a 3-game losing streak. Like, look, I tipped Geelong as well. I thought, there's going to be a coming time where we're going to break that duck. But gee whiz, you may as well rename GMHBA to Giant Stadium, mate. Honestly,
NG Stadium, whatever it's called.
Whatever the fuck. They change their name every bloody 10 minutes, like the bloody Gold Coast Stadium. I don't even know what it's called. I still call it Metricon.
Metricon. I still call it Colonial Stadium at Telstra Dome, whatever it's called. Etihad Stadium. DC Stadium. No, that's deliberately a joke, people. I didn't know. It's not called.
Sam De Koning, he had a bloody shocker today as well. There's so many times he just lost his opponent, and and I was saying, and I put this on Twitter, either get him in the ruck, blitz down back, or just sub him off. I just thought he was just like absolutely shocking, and I thought his attitude just absolutely stunk today as well. Like, there were some moments he just bloody spat the dummy, and look, our back line was under siege. I get that, but Sam De Koning, I've seen him play better performances than that, and that just wasn't it today. And Jai Clark,
useless.
Honestly,
today
was. I'm counting down the days. Like, mate, they put him behind the ball. He gets 3 disposals. That's unacceptable. You want to crack into our AFL side. That's just not good enough. I think. Look, this guy. Solid in the VFL, not consistent in the AFL. Like what Paul said, I see him as a George Holland-Smith 2.0. Like, and Brendan, I think he said it even better. I think he's a Billy Smets. Honestly, it's just not good enough. Like Ted Closey, I think he would have made more of an impact. Like, if he had more game time.
Timu Billy Smith.
Oh,
Jesus Christ! Oh my God!
Shocking.
No, look, he's not up to it, and he'll get dropped. And if he's not dropped, I don't know what I'll do.
I'll spew. Honestly, fuck it. Let's just bring George Stevens in, mate.
I'll spew up in my little coffee cup if I have to come on next week after seeing another performance from Jai Clark. I'll have to probably bring a bucket instead. But I don't know if the coffee cup will hold it, but no, if I see that again next week, now he's done for at least 6 or 7 weeks. I cannot see him getting back, especially with players returning from injury now. He's done. Give Ted Closey a full game, for God's sake. I know he wasn't great, but he hasn't had to play a full game in how long? He's lost confidence. Ruined his confidence now. Not you. You didn't do anything. But
I can't kick a footy to save my life, but. But fuck me, man. He's been 3 years. He's been 3 years on the list. I'm seeing better players in the draft, like Matthias Filippo. For St Kilda. I mean, obviously the Ashcroft brothers we were never going to get.
Not yet.
But we'll
get them all.
If we're going for Harley Reid, Butters, like Warple, all those Matt Rowell, all those blokes. Where's he fit in the team as well? I want him to succeed, but I'm just not seeing it at the moment, Ben. And honestly, if come trade period time, if we need to make a sacrifice to land a big fish like we did with Cooper Stevens, I'm all for it at the moment. I think we need to cash out. I really do.
We'll trade Jai Clark, and he'll go to, I don't know, Freo or something like that.
Send him to Port Adelaide. They get all the Geelong VFL players there.
Yeah, he'll go somewhere else, and he'll, like the other Clark. Now he's racking up 35 touches a game, pretty much, like Jordan Clark. And Lucas always gets it wrong. He always calls him Jordan Clark.
Yeah.
I love it. No, it's good fun. Oh, yeah, mate, it's frustrating. But I honestly, I didn't even notice him tonight. I didn't know, probably because he wasn't getting anywhere near the ball to make mistakes.
Exactly.
That's probably why I didn't notice him. I was noticing just the lack of pressure through the middle of the ground. It was like, oh my goodness me.
Yep.
We couldn't do anything about it, or we either identified it was a problem when we tried to do things about it, and we just it wasn't working, or I don't know. Nothing seemed to make any difference for 4 quarters tonight, and I guess somehow we just, when we got the ball, we were able to have some impact on the scoreboard. Unfortunately, it just was probably, I don't know, what do we keep? 14-17 or 7 some 14-17.
Yeah, 14-17. Yeah.
17-14, we win this game. Jesse Hogan
100%.
kicked 6 goals, 2 instead of 7 goals, 1. We win this game. But we had one of the all-time games, didn't he? So, Jesse, we know you're watching at the airport, getting ready to catch the red eye back. You're a prick, but you're playing pretty well today.
And fucking even Jake Stringer as well, man. He was on track to have a bloody legacy game as well. It's just uncalled. It's just uncalled with some of these players. It's just what is with Geelong allowing second rate. And this is no disrespect to Jesse Hogan, Coleman medalist last year. He's a great player, but players like Jake Stringer, mate, he's fucking washed, man. He was on track to kick 4 or 5 goals on his own, mate. Honestly.
How many behinds did we kick in the 2008 grand final? I'm just looking up now. 2008. Someone in the chat will beat me to it, but who was it? Who was Jezelenko was saying in the chat. What was the score? Grand final. Hang on a tick.
It's like 20 something.
It wouldn't be easy to find the score, would it? Score. Give me the score. Stupid thing.
I don't even know why we're looking it up, to be honest.
I don't know, because it's the third rule of the Paul James. This isn't the Paul James show, but it is the third rule of the Paul James show. We don't talk about the hour.
Magnus says 23. So
23, Magnus. Thank you, Magnus. You're too quick on the buttons for me. I've said Paul, and his little name pops up on my phone. My phone must love Paul. Paul James. No, didn't work that time. Anyway, so the poll, just so you know, I don't know if you can see it, it is running pretty hot in Jai Clark's favour. Not super hot. I thought it'd be a lot hotter than this, but 43% of the chat is got Jai Clark worst player on the ground. So I don't know if you've voted on that one yet. Jeremy Cameron, I cannot believe, is 9%. Kicked 2 absolute ripper goals in 1 quarter there.
So, Lucas and his burner accounts. Sorry, Lucas.
Lucas, how many accounts have you got going, Lord Lucas? Goodness, mate. And Shannon Neely, who does get called Shannon Pizza when he's going well, but Shannon Neely, I don't like to bring Shannon Pizza into it when he's not going that well. It's not good publicity, but he's coming second with 30% of the vote at the moment. So Ollie Henry for that 1 drop mark just before halftime, he's dead to me for that.
Unreal. It's just like, do we need to get out the sliced oranges, mate? So they can get sticky hands and mark the ball, like far out, And I don't know what the conditions were like in Geelong today as well. Like, certainly was perfect conditions.
Beautiful. Yeah. Couldn't have been any better, Kira. Couldn't have been any better in Geelong today.
I mean, in wet conditions, that's fine. I accept that. That happens, but the way GWS, when they had the ball, everything they touched just turned to gold. It was falling in their laps, and somehow we couldn't. And this, we need to drill that in training this week and set shot for goal kick. Jeremy Cameron, his set shot for goal, man. Like what's happened? He kicked some really good open play goals outside of the 50-meter arc.
Yep.
But the set shots, 11 out of 10, you back him in to get it. Fucking hell, man. Honestly.
What are you doing, Kate? What are you doing, Kate? You accidentally. There's no backward. You can't change it. I don't think you can change your vote.
Oh, I like what Chiselenko said. Someone needs to order a Travis Quote glove to Shannon's house. Absolutely.
Yeah. Needs.
Absolutely. Like Riccardi. He had a glove, Yeah. He took some really good marks.
Yep.
Far out.
Either moment. Game should have started at 1:10 p.m. I reckon. I reckon. I mean, I know post-game live's a little bit earlier than it normally is. I would have preferred to have got it done a little bit earlier in the night. I'm glad I put.
Yeah.
I was originally going to go 7:30 tonight, but then I thought a couple of things. One is I'm absolutely about to blow my top. I'm absolutely about to just go nuts, and I need a little bit more time just to decompose because I was very angry. Oh, I can't see that. But yeah, I was very upset.
Geelong is breaking my heart, Ben. You know. Oh,
we're spoiled though, aren't we?
Breaking my heart.
Aren't we spoiled little shits? We don't know how to just.
Yeah.
Oh well. No, but yeah, Jai Clark. I don't know. I'm kind of done with Jai for a little bit. Sheen Mullen, I've just given up even trying to get him out of the team. I don't know what it's going to take.
You know, Marco. Oh, that's right. It's gone in my mind now. Mark O'Connor. I'll drive you to the Melbourne airport, mate, and I'll pay for your flight back to Ireland. Sorry, mate. You're done. You're done.
He's done. He's done.
You could go, mate.
Go Time's on fire. Yep. Cats by 35 points next week, and we win the next 16 games. I'm with you, Go Time, because you know how I am. I was kicked off the show. We're a middling team, but yeah, now we go on a 16-game run because, of course, we just repeat things. Everything just rhymes, doesn't it? So
You know, we'll beat Port by 10 goals. Everything will be all rosy, rainbows and unicorns. You know, everything's going to be all right. We're going to line up and get our grand final tickets. You know,
I want the Dark Lord to ride through on a unicorn. And what's Spashin? Just looking at the 2022 draft, compared to the last few years, it was absolutely shocking draft. The only two players stood out were Philippou and Josh Wheel. Would have been nice if we got Philippou. I do like what I'm seeing from him.
I rate him. I absolutely rate him. And, you know, I won't be surprised if he goes back to a South Australian club, you know. Like, because he's not going to find success at St Kilda, honestly. Like,
no, he won't. No, he'll find he'll find a couple of turds, but that's about it. No, he's not. Well, I mean, St Kilda are a bit like us, to be fair. They look $1 million sometimes. Port Adelaide looks $1 million at times. GWS. There's probably a two or Adelaide sometimes. Even though Adelaide, are they a good team? I think they are. I'm not sure yet.
Nah, I don't think so. I think outside Adelaide Oval, you know, they look like $1 million. Outside of that, it's their record away from home, Ben. You know, you can't. You can't win premierships just at the Adelaide Oval, mate. Like, they're flat track bullies, in my opinion.
Are we on the win one, lose one, win one, lose one? That's their run lately. Can we believe them at the moment?
Well,
Doggies?
They should have beat Brisbane last week.
I was balls deep in the Doggies, but not anymore.
I'm liking the Doggies at the moment, you know. But at the moment, it's just Brisbane and Hawthorn. They're just the benchmark of the competition at the moment.
You're thinking about marching band.
Thinking about marching band, bloody hell, yeah. But I'm not in a marching band myself, funnily enough. So, but Collingwood, I don't rate. I think the wheels are going to fall off. You know, age is going to catch up to them. What
about Carlton?
Nah.
Don't rate them.
I don't rate them. Honestly,
And the mighty Bombers, who have won 5 out of the last 6.
Yeah, they've been a dark horse, haven't they?
They've played shit teams, but they've won some games.
Well, I didn't think they beat the Swans, but bloody hell! Like, I like the look of Nate Caddy and Isaac Kako in that team. I think they're going to be absolute gems in that club. I have to keep an eye on Kako when we play him because he torched us up in the preseason game earlier this year. But I'm watching Essendon games. I love Kako. Yeah,
he won't do that again, surely. I wouldn't have thought.
I don't think the top 4 like you always say, Ben. So sorry, mate.
Top 4, yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know. Where's Scotty so far? Have we seen Scotty in the chat yet? Have we seen? I think we've seen Juicy's in the chat. Is this one of Lucas's burner accounts again? Welcome to the chat. Why do they pick Clark? He doesn't even contribute anything major to the team. Juicy Frog, very good. Welcome to Postgame Live, Juicy. I love that. I don't know why. Anyway, it's starting. Can you sense it's starting to get a little bit looser as the show goes on? We just lose the professionalism after about an hour and 20 minutes.
I'm never after Lucas. Firstly, but
he was keen tonight.
But bloody hell. Well, look, I'll give you my 3-2-1, and I'll give you my thoughts for next game. So 3 votes. I'm going to give to Bailey Smith. I thought without his impact, I thought we've never had a chance to win this game. He was absolutely everywhere. He's and one of those games is the reason why we got him at the Cattery. He was amazing. Number two, Max Holmes. I thought he got better as the game went on, especially the fourth quarter. He absolutely lifted again with Baz, just running and running and running. Finding teammates. Like him, without his impact, we wouldn't have stood a chance. And 1 vote I'm going to give to Mark Blitzarves. I thought he was really good in the ruck today. Shot on goal. He should have converted. Normally he's good at those. Normally he's good directly in front, 20, 30 meters out. But other than that, I thought he was very solid in a ruck. Given our ruck department is we're quite short staffed there at the moment.
Very.
I don't know who Port Adelaide are going to bring in the ruck. They didn't play Jordan Sweet in the showdown. They played Dante Vicentini, and I don't know if you remember, Ben, but he was the guy that absolutely towered Reece Stanley last year when Port came and played in Geelong.
Okay.
I don't know if they've been sweet back, but knowing fucking Kenny, I think they're going to persist with Vicentini. Obviously Willie Rioli, I reckon he's going to be back. But here in SA, all the media they're absolutely going to flog the shit out of Port throughout the week. All the fans will be fired up. Oh, we just can't make the same mistake. And
can we be coach killers?
This could be Kenny's last game. Can we retire him? Take it back home?
No. I don't. I think. Geez, I wish Luke Beveridge would have went first because I don't rate him at all. But no, I feel like Ken's really walking that tightrope at the moment.
I'm telling you, mate. Port lose this one. I reckon he's done. I don't know if I said this on the show earlier this year, but I don't think he will see out the season. I think they're going to pay him out. I think they're going to pay his contract out early. Put Josh Carrott, just like what they did with Alistair Clarkson at Hawthorn in 2021. It's not going to look good.
I think there's an Australian artist called Ken Dunn. Ken Doan. He's cooked. He's cooked. I can't wait to see you there. I'm not going to the game, but I'm assuming.
I'll be there. I'll be there. Be going with Lucas. Couple of the other Twitter folk as well. We're all going to be there. Any of you guys
catch you? Where should they catch you? What gate or what venue beforehand or what's?
At the game. I'll be in section 146. Behind the away goals with the Geelong cheer squad. But anyone making the trip, anyone making to the game, we'll be doing a pre-game meetup at the same venue like we did the gather around the Strathmore Hotel. I'll probably be there at about probably lunchtime. Bounces 3:45 p.m. Adelaide time.
Okay. Really
so it's a Saturday twilight game. So, but yeah, we'll go there 2-3 hours before the game. Love to see you all. Last time we went, there was more Crow supporters in there. Let's get more Geelong people in there. And if we win, Lucas was keen on doing roaming Lucas. So we'll be definitely there for that as well. But
do you know what you need? Do you know what you need to bring? Just get in, go to the art and craft store through the week and just build up a nice big sign. 86 was it 86?
84.
A nice big 84 sign, and just on a big pole, and just walk around the stadium, just holding it up.
84 is the new 119.
It's the new 119.
Oh,
Well, someone make up a 119 one and we'll put a line through it and say this, and then 84 is the new one. Oh, that'll be so good if we smash them again. If we do it again.
Yeah, 100%. Love to meet you all, and before I go, Ben, as well. I've been meaning to say this in the last couple of shows as well, but didn't get the chance to. To you, Paul, the Hoops crew, and everyone on the Twitter community, all your viewers as well. I just want to say thank you for your kind messages. Obviously, it's been tough times for me and my family this last month, and given it's all Mother's Day and all of that as well. Like, I'm okay. I'm okay now. All my family's okay too. But thank you for all your kind messages. I'm deeply, deeply touched, and so is my family as well. And it's just amazing to know that there's a community out there, and all of that as well. It's more than the game as well. So I really, really thank you. I really appreciate it. So you guys are amazing. Thanks, Ben. We'll see you next week, and go Cats.
Go Cats. We love you, mate. Oh, he's a good man. He's a good man. He's got a good heart. Love him. I love that guy. All right. Ethan, I think you had second most votes. You were leading the votes, Ethan, at one point. I'll get you on. Welcome.
Again, yeah, I think my vote for the Vellas might have helped tip the scales.
Possibly.
So here we are an hour and a half later.
Yes.
Wanted to have Brian H on here, but he is currently hiding under my bed because he got mad.
Yep.
I don't know if you got to see him in the back.
No, sorry. I was preoccupied by Darth the Dark Lord Lucas.
Understandable.
Do you have a candle? Do you have a candle with you tonight? No, you're just playing it straight this evening.
Yeah. That's the first time this year I've really felt like we were beaten more than we lost. Despite the inaccuracy and some wasted forward opportunities, let's not ignore the fact that, of course, GWS turned into the fucking Harlem Globetrotters when we see them. They had lost 3 in a row, and they had they had played maybe 2 good halves out of their last 3 games, if even that. And I thought from the start, A, they were on. B, we did very little to stop them.
Yep.
If the Crows, who play terrible defense, can hold them to 34, we're letting them blow past that early in the second quarter. And I thought game plan wise, we did not do enough to stop the tsunami where, they were just getting out. It's here's Hayden, here's Callahan, here's Tom Green, here's Callahan again. And look, Green and Callahan are really good players. And of course, Tom Green, 100th game, of course, one of the few days he's actually efficient because, he's going to get a lot of touches, but there are a lot of days when he's a very ineffective player. He was pretty efficient today. Let's see, actually.
80%.
A little under 65%, but 11 score involvements. If you just get him over 55, he's a really effective player. And when he hit that goal from the boundary from beyond 50, it was oh shit, it's definitely their day.
Yeah.
It felt like that earlier. It was Jake Stringer's been awful, comes out on fire. And I thought maybe we caught a break when he did his hamstring. I thought maybe we caught a break with Toby Green messing up his ankle. I thought we had caught a break with no Toby Bedford. No Josh Kelly, no Brent Daniels, so I think super underrated player. But first off, again, credit to them. They exploited mismatches where we had absences. Namely, our defense was just too scrawny to match up. And
Agreed.
No matter who we threw on Hogan, he had his way. And it's funny because a couple weeks ago against Carleton, I had really liked Sam DeConing's body language and his response. When Durden took that hanger on him, it was just like, what are you going to do? It happens. And today you saw him sulking for the first time all year. So that was really frustrating. And just, it took us a while to adjust. I thought second half we did a better job controlling the pace. And then, we were wasteful with a lot of our chances, obviously. It wasn't just Blitzovs hitting the post and a couple other misses. There were at least 3 times where someone just bombed one that we didn't need to. Dangerfield had one in the third quarter where Mana was open 20 meters closer, smack in the middle, and he had a pretty decent window to get it to him. And instead, he tried the shot from 55. There was there were multiple where Mana just bombed in. There was one where Holmes just bombed it in. It's guys, there are options in here.
Yeah. Well, Danger thought there was an option. Maybe Danger should have bombed it.
Yeah. Should have bombed that one and shouldn't have bombed the one in the third quarter. Because again, Mana was waving his arms wide open. But yeah, this is the first time it helps to have expected this. Especially knowing just how bad GWS had looked the last few weeks. It was I had said going into last week, well, they're either going to beat Sydney or they're going to beat us. And then they lost to Sydney. And played pretty poorly for a good chunk of that game. Except Callahan, who's terrific.
Yeah.
But there were still, even with our absences, even with us shooting ourselves in the foot, this was right there for the taking. And I think there are some positives out of that. Our midfield matched up with theirs. And yes, they're missing Canelio, but he's past his prime. He's an older player. He's still a decent player, but he's not what he was. It's we went in there and went toe-to-toe with Tom Green and Finn Callahan. Yes, again, not having Toby Bedford probably made a difference there. Maybe then, I guess you probably don't give the debutant a game and go over something. And that kid was all right.
Yeah, he's good.
He was all right. He looked polished. And the other thing that I didn't like was, I had said a couple weeks ago after that Carlton loss, Stengel did such a good job bothering Wiedering, and we just kept matching up talls against Taylor, and at times it worked. For all the crap he'll catch, Shannon Neal took a contested mark in front of Sam Taylor and kicked the goal. Sam Taylor or Harris Andrews is the best defender in the AFL. It's one of those two. Stewart's still up there. Saints fans will make a case for Cal Wilkie. Stewart's just got to be on the field more.
I don't know if Stewart's up there anymore, but yeah. I don't think it's the end for Stewart, but yeah.
Oh, not even close.
He's nowhere near All-Australian anymore. Well, I don't want to write people off at all, but because he could make us all look stupid next year or even the back end of this year and become an all-star, a superstar again, but he's a long way from his best. That's for sure.
But we were, despite all of those things, right there. If Jack Henry's in this game, we win. Or if Reece Stanley plays, just because then that would have freed up Blitzovs to have Hogan, and Blitzovs could have taken that on physically. For what it's worth, I thought Blitzovs, other than the 2 set shots, which obviously are going to get magnified, was really good.
Completely
I thought
agree.
Jed Hughes, I liked the way he set up from the back. Our delivery was so much better than it had been the last couple weeks. And I think that's a mix of having Buse healthy, having Brian back in. There were multiple things at play there. But I feel like that's a performance that a lot of days, you play that game, we probably win. But I also think we do not match up well with GWS. I don't think we do enough to counter what they do. And I also think even if we did try to, they just match up well with us, just like they match up really well with Collingwood.
Yeah, there's teams that, we match up well against some teams as well. GWS, just us and some others, they love it. They look forward to it.
They give it to us and they give it to Collingwood.
Yep.
And yeah, it's just, I would have loved to see us do more to change our game plan, again, to meet just the waves of guys they were sending at us. Because how many times, there were a couple off broken plays, it happens. But how many times were they able to just start sending such huge numbers forward and, someone's got nobody within 20 meters of them? How many times did that happen?
Yep.
Way more than it should. And if there's one frustration I really have, it's that we don't do enough to match our game plan to our opponents. And I think maybe we thought we could go about this like we could the Crows game, where we could just outscore them. And we nearly did, but it's a lot easier to do that against a Crows team that doesn't have a great midfield, that doesn't have Sam Taylor and Jack Buckley.
Yep.
Iden got some credit for quieting Cameron in the second half. He was good. Himmelberg was up and down, but that is a team that is too good to just try to play their game and outscore them. And I don't think, at least for the first half, we didn't play our game enough. And we were very lucky to go into halftime with the lead.
I can't believe we were leading. Yeah. Some of the scores were puzzling me all night, because the eye test was telling me Geelong wasn't going very well at all. But just ahead, weren't we? Maybe 1 point or something like that, maybe 2 points, 1 point ahead, 61, 60, 62.
Yep. 1 point up at half, 7 down after 3.
Yeah. 3 goals to 4.
Other than when it was 32-8, I don't remember them ever leading by more than about 13. But we also never led by more than 4.
24, I think their biggest lead was in the first quarter.
But after that, I don't think it was bigger than 13.
No, towards the end of the third, they started to sort of look threatening again. And then the fourth quarter was just 10 points in it the whole time.
Yeah.
Another Geelong game, another amazing final quarter.
I would love to have more games similar to the Carlton game in terms of stress level, but different result. Or, the Melbourne game. I mean, Melbourne was awful that day, but I'd like to have some nice stress-free games here and there, and I don't see any for the next few weeks. We've got some pretty tough ones ahead.
When are we going to play West Coast?
See, the problem is we play them in Perth, and that's not a freebie.
Nah, it's close enough.
They're still not good, but, I want them to win one before we play them.
Yeah.
That's always... I don't like playing winless teams, and I don't know if they've... Let me check.
3 weeks away. 3 weeks away until we play them.
Well, we go what? Port, Bulldogs. Do we go them and then the Suns?
Yep.
Well, hopefully they beat the Saints this week then.
We've got a really cruisy finish to the year, but it's not going to matter.
I've been saying all along.
If we're not going to make the finals, it doesn't matter. So hopefully we win enough of those hard games.
The end of the year is a lot softer, but right now I think we're lucky to get Port coming off of such a draining game, even if they have an extra day of rest.
Yep.
How many teams does GWS beat today? I think most of them. I don't know if they beat the Lions. I don't know if they beat the Dogs. Suns depends on where they play them. But I thought GWS was really good. That should not be underestimated. And if this had happened like a month ago, I would have said, sure, they're really good. But just because they had looked so bad in the entire Crows game and the second half against the Dogs and a good chunk of the game against the Swans, that's what makes this frustrating.
What were your thoughts on, I know this isn't Geelong related, but no one's brought it up yet. Brisbane Lions had a draw with North Melbourne. I
have not watched that closely yet.
I nearly tripped over and knocked myself out on the kitchen bench when I saw that. Like, what is happening? Well, what?
I mean, they've struggled on the other side of Tasmania, and it looked like by expected score, North actually could have won that by 4 goals. Larkey missed a couple. I don't know. I hope we get that version of the Lions when we play them again. And I hope we get a poorer version of the Giants when we play them again, because we go to their place.
We've got better chance of beating them up there than we do at our play.
They've talked about, there's been talk about maybe them selling a home game to the G. Yep. Sell a home game, play it at Geelong. They should be begging to play every game at Geelong. Go play Collingwood there. Make Collingwood go down the highway.
Make Geelong, the GMHBA, your home away from home. Why not? Don't worry about Canberra. Make it Geelong.
And I think there is some reasoning, the way they play maybe fits a narrower ground.
Yeah. But they
played good games at Norwood, for example. But
they changed it up. They weren't playing like this last few weeks, and all of a sudden they've said, we're playing at Geelong again. It's a cigar-shaped football ground. Let's just kick it up the middle because Geelong won't stop us, taking marks or anything, and won't be able to sort of squeeze us or anything. Yeah, I don't know. Just it was too easy for them today when we didn't have the ball. I just thought they moved it really, really easily. And
even though they hit some tough shots, we gave them a lot of easy stuff.
Yeah.
I thought the first half, our midfield didn't do enough to defend. And then second half, I thought defensively, the midfield was better and just the actual back line struggled. And again, just like if Stanley's in there, Blitzovs gets to play back. Or, just if one of Henry or Stewart's in there. What could Kolajashny change? I'm not sure. But he is pretty strong. Probably doesn't match up with Hogan, but...
No.
But still, it changes the equation. And I think they did a better job of exploiting that than we did exploiting, no Brent Daniels and no Toby Bedford. Although, I assume Bedford would have gone to Bailey Smith, who I thought had a pretty good game today. Thought he was good, and I actually really liked how Max Holmes played. I know he hasn't gotten a ton of love yet. People have just thought he's all right. I thought he was really sharp.
I thought he kicked a lot of... I thought he looked slower than he normally does because he seemed to get caught a lot, and then that resulted in him kicking the ball along the ground.
That's true.
I mean, there were times, but I think without Max Holmes' drive, we'd be much further behind in this game. I think he was a very important player for the Cats. Again, he's another one where you just, like the whole team generally, I expect a lot more from. I want more from. And it's just, he's probably just struggled a little bit this year with maybe Bailey in the middle. And, again, I think we'll probably see Max Holmes back to his best next year. But
I think this was a step in the right direction. And then, Mitch Duncan, mostly positive. Let me check. Did I even note anything negative he did at all?
Poor decision in the middle of the ground at one stage. But he was okay. I didn't think he kicked a nice goal around the corner.
If it was a 1-point game, I'd be all over him because he had that one where he just decided to spoil one through for a point instead of marking it, and he had all day. And it was before they kicked the go-ahead goal, he was trying to break out. It was a really crafty little play by Harvey Thomas to keep it in. Kind of knocked it away like a basketball steal.
Chris Scott's blaming himself. I'm just looking at the article. It was me. Scott takes blame for calls. Kingsley praises Hogan.
Well, I think the 61 we gave up in the first half, I think, some of that probably was game plan, but some of it was also just players not, again, physically, Connor O'Sullivan a year from now with proper offseason training, he doesn't get bullied like that because this was probably the worst game he's had, in part because he didn't get to do as much movement. Some of that was probably because of having Jed Buse back, which good problem to have.
Yep.
And just physically, he struggled. And I think, hopefully, you get back in someone like Henry, and then it moves him to an easier assignment. For next week, for example, he's probably not the one you throw on Georgiadis, or say when you play the Suns, he's not the one you're putting on Ben King. So we've got a couple things there where, again, we're just a couple guys away, and maybe this is just a year where we're going to have to find a way without great health. I don't think, there are teams that have it worse, but it seems like every time someone gets healthy, someone else goes down. Just one of those years. It's nowhere near as bad as, say, Sydney has it.
No, but every injury we get seems to be 8 weeks or more.
Or just someone who's been playing their absolute best in Jack Henry's case. Yeah.
Yeah. He was having career best season, leading the competition in marks, just looking tip top and just no good. And unfortunately, he goes down. Kolajashny, basic injury, just can't get right. And now he's only just he came back, played 2.5, 3 quarters in the VFL a few weeks ago, pulls up sore. it's going to be 3 weeks until he plays another game. So by the time if he plays next week, and then Cam Guthrie apparently is out on the training track again, but who knows? Who knows? With
if that, I wouldn't be opposed if Guthrie gets back. If you could slide Jack Bowes into more of an actual defensive role where he probably belongs.
Mm-hmm.
Bowes, once again, like that's another area where we just looked slow, and I mean, that's another also. I guess between that and facing a really fast team and no Lawson Humphreys, it was just like this is a bad matchup.
How did Grind go today, do you think? Because the first game back after the concussion, he some uncharacteristic mistakes.
He had one bad turnover that led to a goal. It was, he gave up a handball to Jake Riccardi, and that led to Hogan's last goal. But then he immediately comes back and tees up Tyson Stengel for a goal. So that kind of ended up being a net zero.
Yeah.
Like immediately after. I mean, that was within the span of a minute he did that. So that's one I'm not as concerned about. It takes a little while to get back up to speed, but he did get a goal today. He had, see, how many assists they credit him with? Do they credit him with an assist on the handball?
They should have. That was definitely an assist.
He should have 2. See if they gave him. Yeah, they gave him 2. Okay.
Reece Stanley was there today, just so you know, and this may not have been picked up on the television, but he was there walking around the boundary line, having a bit of a kick with some young kids. And at one point, one of the GWS staff walked up to him and tapped him on the hamstring and said, how's your hamstring? A lot of this is lip read, and I'm 20 meters away. Couldn't tell you exactly what was said, but Reece's body language was like, nah, mate, it was just a bit of awareness. It's fine. I just, we just didn't want to take the risk. I'll be fine. That kind of thing. Just didn't want to chance it, that kind of thing.
Whereas, if Jack Henry's healthy, I don't think twice about that. We're talking about how great Blitzov's played in the ruck, and Jesse Hogan and Jack Henry, what a battle. Hogan kicks 3, but we don't let him go completely nuts.
Yep.
It was the combination of all of those things getting exploited in that mismatch.
Was Sam DeConning as bad as what everyone's saying? I didn't think he was that bad. He dropped a chest mark at one point, but that was I just thought he was up against it all day. The ball flying in there with that much resistance.
There were a couple where Hogan got up on him. There was one where he let Aaron Cadman get open in a pack in the second quarter. That's like, that can't happen. You saw him sulking, and
yeah,
I think that's more of the frustration, was just like the body language stuff that like we thought he had moved past.
No, it's a bit grumpy because it was very hard for the defenders today, and so it wouldn't have been an enjoyable day to be a Geelong defender. And you saw when things are going well and the odd mistake happens. Recently he's been pretty good. The body language has been put behind him, but it's like that first or second year all over again. He's just sort of his head's down. He's turned his back on the play, and I mean, this used to happen all the time. A player would sort of say, "Oh, Sam DeConning's cracked the sooks, and I'm just going to play on and kick a goal around the corner," and it it drives me crazy. It's like, mate, you got to be on all the time. You can't switch off for 5 seconds because
especially against a good team. And GWS remembered today that they're a good team.
Yeah, but we've been. I don't know. I don't trust GWS. I know they played really well today. I just.
I know.
Like I can't trust them. Yeah.
Look, if you had like missed their last 3 games and then saw them today, you'd be like, "Yep, that's par for the course." But their last 3 games have been pretty awful.
Yeah. Well, season on the line today, wasn't it? They couldn't afford to lose four straight. So
no, and they had looked out of sorts, especially last week. They hadn't looked like themselves, and even just like from the first few minutes today, when you saw them moving, it was like, oh yeah, this is a team that was a trendy flag pick for a reason.
Yeah,
I mean, they definitely have a premiership caliber backline. I'll take, again, Taylor and Buckley up against pretty much anybody.
Pretty much, yeah. I'd love to see them again in finals because it all fell apart last year in straight sets, and see how they go. Whether they've learnt some lessons there. But I'm just not sure whether they're going to be able to put it together. Where are they now? And it's only round 9? Round 9, isn't it?
Yeah, we're 5-4 for the third time in 4 years.
We're in the business end. We're definitely in the business. If you're not starting to become a good team after round 9, then you've left it too late. You really need to put the foot down now.
They are also 5-4.
Exactly. So there's 3 teams 5-4: the Dogs, us, and the Giants. With Essendon having not had the luxury of playing 9 games yet, and Carlton. You could almost argue Carlton have lost a couple of close ones that maybe they could be 5-4 or 6-3. So Carlton is that sort of sneaky team outside the 8 at the moment. I think Freo, have we made a decision on Fremantle yet? Are you prepared to sort of say there? Because everyone had them top 4. A lot of people had them top 4 this year.
I thought they actually showed some better signs this week, even though they ended up losing to a Collingwood team resting everybody. I thought they looked better, and then I thought I put both them and the Saints in the same category this week, where they looked pretty good and then for no reason at all decided to slow the game down too much, and it hurt them. Because like Freo, and this is super off topic, but they are such a frustrating team because you look at how much speed they've got.
They go slow.
And then they decide to just slow the game down. It's like you have Clark, you have Switkowski, you have Frederick, just run.
Mm-hmm. The champion data say that Freo is like the king of the pause button. They just every time they take a mark, they just stop and look, and they
don't need to. Like they should be trying to do some of what GWS does, and that's actually the exact same time we play next week. They play at GWS. That could be interesting.
That is an interesting one. Another one just sort out because there is a bit of a logjam that the 5-4 and the 4-5 teams, that sort of middling, as I'm saying, the middling teams. There's maybe nine of them, 8 or 9 of them at the moment. All teams have played this weekend now. So, but we know Gold Coast are probably another one. Gold Coast and Essendon.
Let's just assume because that game is at Gold Coast, the Gold Coast beats Essendon.
I think we can assume that, can't we? I think Essendon's got a reasonable record against them, but we can assume that.
I think the teams that are actually 5-4, the Dogs and Giants, like you don't want to face them on their best days, but like the Crows, take them. The Suns, as long as it's not at their place or Darwin, bring it on. As much as I love their midfield, and then the 3 at the top. Look, we've beaten 2 of them and could have beaten the other. We're good. It's just we're not quite good enough, I think, to beat the best teams on their best days.
If we lose to Port next week, it's a possibility, and I'm not trying to doom and gloom it here, but they'll be 5-5. We'll be 5-5. And then we've got the Dogs the week after that. So
Port's another one. Just like watch them on the right day.
On the right day,
they're terrifying.
Mm.
Did you watch Showdown last night?
Sorry, say that again.
Did you watch Showdown last night?
No, I didn't. No,
a hell of a game.
We actually didn't watch football last night. We watched Black Mirror. Thursday to Sunday football sometimes is too much. I know you watch every game. I'm like, I need a break. Before.
No, I guess Cats. But basically, they smashed the Crows in the midfield. They were like, let me check here. It was plus 20 something on clearances.
Butters and Rosie were going nuts, weren't they?
Yeah, and Wine's got a bunch of clearances. Clearances for the game were 56-29. Now, I think they got like 7 of the final 8 on that to do that, but the Crows beat them in both 50s. Like Mark Keane had this huge intercept mark late and had a pretty good game overall. Worrell was really solid. And then up front, I mean, Fogarty and Thilthorpe. Like, I think super highly of Thilthorpe. So maybe, maybe it's a chance for some of our forwards to really go off next week. Not that I think Alir is an easy matchup. Asava, even though he gives up a bunch of free kicks, he's tough physically. I hope that, I thought if we could just catch some of their forwards not playing like Hogan and Stringer today, that would be great.
It'd be nice, but yeah, I just, as you said off the top, handsome boys just joined the chat. Welcome. Yeah. Well, they're just playing like the Gold Coast, playing like the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah.
And a lot of teams do that when they come up against Geelong for some reason. They just turn into the best thing ever. They play the best game of the year. It means everything to them. We must have harmed some teams emotionally over the years because they seem to save their best for us a lot.
Yeah. But I think next couple games could really go either way. Hopefully win both. If you come out with only one, we'll manage. It is just really annoying. Now, I am well aware that over the last 5-6 years, there are only probably a couple of clubs that could say, yeah, I'd rather be where we've been than where Geelong's been. Collingwood and Brisbane could make that argument.
Yeah.
I don't think most others could.
No.
But it is really frustrating, once again, to have the Saints loss at Marvel, a game where Carlton just kicks our ass through the middle, the GWS home loss, and it's just
same. Again and again and again and again. Yep.
Just that's what's irritating. And, yes, beating the Crows at their place was a totally different feel than last year. The Collingwood win was an amazing game, but losing to the same teams again and again gets frustrating. Though I will say, if there are teams that are always going to have your number, and you had to pick someone, Freo up until this year, GWS, St. Kilda, a lot more tolerable than some of the alternatives.
I agree. 3, 2, 1s before I get Ben on.
Yeah. One, I got to go Mark Blitzovs. Even with the set shots, he was much more positive than negative. He was actually our top-rated player by Champion Data, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think obviously Hogan top-rated on ground.
Yeah.
But yes, Blitzovs was our best. Champion Data actually really liked DeConing, which I don't agree with.
Yeah. No, not for me.
2, I'll go Bailey Smith. And 3, I'm actually going to give it to Max Holmes. And Champion Data also has him right behind Blitzovs. I just thought, again, Holmes was really solid today, playing through the middle and played with, even if he was you thought he looked a little slow at times, I thought he was sharp. And just, he looked more like the Holmes we saw in the first 10 games last year. So I think we've got a lot of guys that can still get to another level.
I think so. 710 meters gained, 5 tackles, doesn't hurt. Just as always, just sometimes the disposal with Holmes is just not there. But
he was still efficiency wise. I think he was still around. Yeah, he was just under 77% and 14 score involvements.
Mm.
One thing I haven't been able to find yet is the expected score, because I think it kind of broke mid-game.
Oh, okay.
Which is, maybe it's just we wasted so many opportunities that we broke it. I can, at least from the Twitter bot, though, that did have by expected score. Yeah, North should have won by about 24. And for our game, just going into the fourth quarter, trying to find the last update it had before it broke. Oh, no, actually, it did give one. Okay. Yeah, it had us by about 14, which seems about right when you factor in a couple of the tougher shots they missed and a couple of the tougher shots they hit and a couple easier ones we missed.
Okay.
Yeah. Fourth quarter, we should have outscored them by 15. Instead, we outscored them by 3?
Yeah, just not enough. Just a couple of chances we left out there, unfortunately.
And I know expected score isn't an exact science. It's not perfect.
Mm.
But let's see. I think second quarter as well. No, it was first quarter, maybe. Yeah, expected score, thought we should have had the lead at the end of the first quarter. And then in the third, yeah, that was, I think we really pissed some chances away in the third. Yeah. We got out. We should have beaten them by 8 in the third, and instead they beat us by 8.
Some wasted opportunities, and unfortunately, we never get that one back. We never get the other four back either. It's 5 in a row now. It's just
Yeah, at least
same.
For the most part, we got beat by their better players. I mean, Leclerc is a hell of a story, and if he does that against any other team, I'm going nuts. I think it's awesome. But to get beat by Jesse Hogan, I think that's a little more justifiable than getting beaten by, like Jake Riccardi before he took off a couple years ago, where it was like, really? This guy's kicking our ass?
Yeah.
Like, we got beat by, what does he won? He won Coleman last year, I think.
I think it was last year,
yeah. Yeah. Better to get beat by him than have Jack Lukosius kick 5.
100% agree. It better not have. I don't know if Jack Lukosius is playing next week. He better not be. But
I haven't seen him. I don't know if he's hurt. Try to check. But that would also be nice if they just don't play him. Yeah, he's got a knee thing. He should be out a couple more weeks. They might get Boak back.
And we'll see what happens with Willie Rioli. Willie or won't he?
He killed us in the home game last year. Nobody covered him. So who is it? By the way, Lucas hinted at this earlier. Who is it that we thought he had made his comments towards when we played him last year? Was it Guthrie?
The footage of him chatting, getting lippy with Brad Close. I don't know if it was Brad Close or not, but he was talking about a small player. So I don't know. I can't remember if he named him.
And I hope next week the only reason he's getting talked about is because we limit him to like 4 disposals for the game or something.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope he doesn't play. I suspect he probably won't play.
I don't know.
I think the hype. Yeah, it's too much attention still. It's too. Yeah,
I never know what Port's going to do. They're interesting at this point.
Yeah,
but if we could bring Smith and Holmes from today and just bring in one better defender, we can handle that game because, again, the key with Port is just don't get completely overrun in the midfield.
We'll see.
Because that midfield, when it's on, is pretty damn good. But you can beat them even with that.
Do we always seem to beat Port by a lot, or they're really close games? It feels like there's never any kind of Geelong win by 30 points or something like that.
We had one a couple years ago at home that was pretty comfortable, but I don't remember being an absolute blowout where Cameron kicked one from the boundary or he went for a barrel. Oh, no, that was like a 35-point win that didn't really feel all that close.
No.
We've had a couple of 2-goal wins over them that have both been great games. 1 in 22 at their place and 1 in 23 at home. I always expect it to be a big one against them, and I think, looking at it, we get them after Showdown again the next time, and I'm trying to map out schedule stuff. That might be a Thursday or Friday at home again. So
the next time, twice after Showdown, that's great.
Yeah, if there's a time to get them, it's off of the most emotionally draining game.
I don't know. Doesn't seem like that ever makes a difference with us, but it is what it is.
I don't know.
Anyway, all right, I'm gonna let you go. It's been a pleasure as always. You're always a fan favorite. Wish I had got you on after a win, but it's always interesting hearing your takes on it and where things went wrong when we have a loss. So
and Mark O'Connor would probably be one of my first to drop. Forgot to mention that. He did step up some in the fourth quarter, but he had that drop mark on the Bose kick that was just awful, and he's just not good enough right now. He's a guy who he gets games when other guys are injured right now.
Who is this white dude, Cassell? What? Hello, Realty. Welcome to the chat. I don't think we've seen you before. You're all over the place. You are the king of games. Thank you very much. Ethan, we love you, as always.
Thank you.
We'll see you on the next one, mate.
See you in a week. Or 6 days.
6 days.
6
Take
days.
Care. Go Cats.
See you. Go Cats.
All right. Before I get Ben on, thanks for watching, everyone. I think there's a few people on Twitter, as I said earlier, watching tonight. come on over to the YouTube. Come and watch us on YouTube. It helps the algorithm a little bit. We love to see you. But we've got Ben, Ethan. Ethan was been on for a little bit, but we've got Ben on now. Not me, another Ben. Hello, how you going? You've been waiting very patiently. 2 hours in now. Goodness me, you're very good. How are you?
I don't know. I was at the game. I wasn't up. I wasn't being loud. I didn't really know what to feel at the end of the game. But now I'm just angry, just being here the last 2 hours, listening to everyone. And no.
Are you angry at me for keeping you waiting for 2 hours?
Everyone's opinions being upset, and I saw Lucas's thing just saying we should just swap the whole VFL for the AFL team. Imagine if we did that, how much the VFL team would win by.
Can you imagine that? We've got to bank some wins in the VFL. Got to get the VFL team winning some games.
This is a story. One of my friends' dad played for Geelong Reserves in the mid-90s, and one year they were playing Fitzroy. This is Fitzroy in their last season in the comp, and Gary Ablett Senior was suspended, so that he was coming back through the VFL, and Gary Hocking was also in the VFL for some reason. So those two were playing in the VFL against Fitzroy's reserves in their last season, and they won about 480 to nothing.
480.
All right, yeah, that's the story I heard from him.
That's a cricket score.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
That's probably the things that's probably what would happen.
Oh my god! All right, computer's trying to restart itself. Ignore that. Thank you. I'm not gonna make you wet this long. Go away, stupid thing. So yeah, you've been watching everyone else chat, and you've been stewing a little bit. I tell you what, I haven't been this grumpy at a football game for a while, and it's just a game of football. It is.
Yeah,
it's not life. At the end of the day, it's just not. It's just football. But they get you. They break my heart. They do.
GWS at home now is just a certainty, whether it's under President Trump or President Biden, Prime Minister Morrison or Prime Minister Albanese. It would have happened if it was under Prime Minister Dutton as well.
Mm-hmm.
We've gone from President Trump to President Biden, back to President Trump, and we didn't beat GWS at home during that time.
Gee, that's a stat. When was the last Prime Minister we won? When we last played GWS? It was 2020 COVID times. Before then, far out. We've had a really lean trot against this mob, and they're a good team. They've been a good team that whole time. But
yes, but I'll tell you what. Another stat: the last time a team won 5 in a row at GMHB at Cardinia Park against us was the Western Bulldogs from 1998 to 2003.
That would make sense.
A team won 5 in a row. Then they didn't win at the ground for 20 years after that. So that's the only hope I'm taking away from this, I guess.
It must have been Paul Chapman doing his thing. We never lose to these guys ever again. But they're another team, and Ethan was saying this before. Just every year we just lose to the same teams: St Kilda, Carlton, GWS, and it's like Bulldogs again. And now we're going to play the Bulldogs at home, and they beat us last year at home. So
there's now fixtures that are now just a penciled-in loss. St Kilda at Marvel, GWS at home. Now probably Carlton at the G when it's there.
Carlton at the G, the loss
now
every time.
3 losses penciled in for the season. That's another positive I'm taking away. Those 3 losses, they're done.
Sydney at the SCG, that's probably a loss. Just can't seem to beat them there.
Last round.
Gold Coast at TO Stadium. That's only once. I think we've only played them once, but I'm still triggered from that.
They've never won at GMHBA, but now
they haven't.
That's just going to be another streak or something.
The one that we've got the best winning streak against any team in the AFL at the moment is Geelong over North Melbourne. I can't remember what it is. Like 16 wins on the trot.
Yeah. And when they play us this year, they're celebrating. They're doing their 100 years in the comp. So.
Another one. We had bloody Carlton celebrating the 1995 premiership. Now we've got North Melbourne celebrating against us.
Yeah,
you know we're going to lose that game now, don't you?
Yeah, it's probably now.
Yep. I don't know. I'm so doom and gloom. Why can't I just be more even? Are you relatively even? Are you pretty chill at the moment? Are you like
Still during and after the game, I guess. Just not really knowing how to feel. Whether I was just expecting the loss because it was against GWS at home, or I don't know. Just I was a bit confused at the start when we had Cameron in the midfield and a few other weird positions around the ground.
what was going on there? Why did we have Cameron? I was looking because he was on the wing a lot. I couldn't figure out what the thinking was with that, other than to just get him in the play more and maybe.
Dangerfield just couldn't really get into the game. I thought not like break away and like win the game for us. I don't know why. I don't think at any point he went to a centre bounce. I don't know why we didn't have him in the midfield just at any stage, just to try to get him into the game.
We're trying to hold him back, maybe, because he's just played every game like a grand final the last few weeks, and it's only round 9. So maybe the coaches deliberately held him back. It did look a bit odd that he just wasn't involved when we needed him, and sat on the bench for 10 minutes or something in the fourth quarter.
I think Cameron went off a few times as well. He usually plays in the game. I'm not really sure what was happening there, but yeah, even at that moment where Dangerfield passed Neil instead of going for goal, even afterwards, like the ball was like fumbly after Neil fumbled it, I still thought it just looked like Dangerfield was still going to pick the ball up and run away, but then it just got Sam Taylor, I think it was, who just stole it and they ran away. Like usually Dangerfield the last few weeks can break away and like mistackle him and he can still go for goal. It just didn't happen.
Not this time, no. But yeah, there was some strange things about tonight, wasn't it? And there's probably more behind the scenes that we just don't know. That's why were certain things happening. Yeah. We won the free kick count by 7, can you believe? I can't believe we won that. What was going GWS couldn't win a free kick tonight. It didn't feel that way. It never feels that way at a home game. It feels like we should win every free kick at a home, but I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this one. I don't know whether to just put it behind us and move on, but it feels like every second week we have to put a game behind us.
Yeah. I don't know where we are. The inconsistency issue. I think that's what it is at the moment. And the last 4 weeks, they've said after each game, "Oh, it's the game of the year."
Yeah, every time. What's going on with that?
We're not going to take this for the rest of the year. We're all going to just have heart issues.
I don't know.
The fixture for round 16 onwards comes out on Tuesday, but then we're going to get every Friday night game now.
Is it this Tuesday it comes out?
Yeah.
Shit. All right, we'll have to get a show ready for that.
We're just going to get. We're just going to get
talk for 3 hours about that one. Paul, if you're watching, queue up a live 3-hour episode about the fixture release from round 16 to 24.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. And then as well, Jai Clark just wasn't his day. It hasn't really been his season. Hasn't really been enough, I guess, at this stage.
He's getting opportunities, and look, I wouldn't be surprised if they, even though he only got 3 touches this week, that they say, "Oh, we believe in you. Go out there and prove to us why we should believe in you." And they play him again. And
they believe a lot of players at the moment.
Yeah,
like Clark, Nolan. I guess I know our backline was definitely like underwhelming today with like players out, but yeah, just still letting Hogan kick 7 goals. I don't think he took like a contested mark as well. It was just open and
so many times it just the way they moved the ball, just like another GWS player open, another one open. It's like, well, what are we just guarding grass or something like that? It's not a very wide ground that we play on. It shouldn't be that hard to squeeze them a little bit, but they just had so much time, and they didn't seem to be using angles. They weren't kicking it sideways, backwards. They were just going straight up the middle of the ground pretty much every time.
Yep.
And it was just impossible for us to win a contested mark when it was going their way. Not to say we didn't do anything well. We did lots well, but goodness me, we just It was a rare performance from us tonight. I just don't know.
Yeah, uncarried. 14 goals, 18 kicking out on the fools.
Yep.
Just missing easy set shots.
We won the centre clearances. Can you believe that? Plus
No,
9.
Usually, that's usually our weakest spot, clearances. But
Yep. Overall, we won clearances. Stoppages about the same. Yep.
And it just proves as well, like you can have these high possession games, but still not really good. Like Luke Ryan for Fremantle the other night, he had 30 touches and his opponent kicked 6 on him. It was the worst 30 disposal game of all time by a player.
We had 47% of the possession in the last quarter versus their 34. We had heaps of it. We just didn't quite. Must have been. I don't know what the pressure levels were like from G. They're probably pretty. I mean, it was an intense last quarter, that's for sure. And the crowd was up and about. I actually haven't seen the crowd. Heard the crowd that loud I can't remember when.
Getting into, I'm sitting in the Selwood stand, just getting into the ground. The queues were massive to get in.
Yeah. Yep.
And we're getting checked to go into the ground. They make me take everything out of my pockets, which I've got. And it's like getting into an airport.
You look sus. What if you're looking all shifty when you approach? Like your sweat's coming down your face. Whoa!
In front of me,
better not find that bag of cocaine in my pocket.
Yeah. It's like ridiculous. And some guy in front of me forgot to take his keys out of his pocket, and the guy looked at. He had a bomb in that pocket. And
oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't.
And then him again, and
I did that stupid thing where I had my phone out with the ticket on the phone ready to go, and then by the time the guy finished wanding me, because he was wanding me for about 5 minutes, must have been enjoying it. He's wanding me for too long. I'm like, oh, God, come on! And then I get to the woman who's scanning me in, and it's gone off my phone. Hang on a sec, sorry. And all these people are right behind me trying to push past. I'm like, sorry, and I'm pulling it up again. And it had a dad moment there. That's all right. That's fine. Anyway, oh well. Mate, any thoughts? Because I'm going to wrap this up in about 15. Magnus, I can see you there, Magnus, and I'm going to get to you. You're going to be my last one tonight, Magnus, if you're still around. And you haven't got your camera on, but you don't have to have a camera on if you don't want to. It's up to you. But Ben, thoughts on this game or next week, on life? Do you have thoughts on life?
The India-Pakistan war. The next India-Pakistan cricket game will be interesting.
Yep. A bit like Hawthorn and the Cats. Well, maybe a little bit more important, but it'll be on for young and old, that one.
When we play West Coast in a few weeks, if we lose that game, I think Lucas's fan cams after the game, Lucas will probably burn his house on fire.
I genuinely thought he lit a fire in a little bin behind him or something like that. And I was feeling like, Lucas, I'm sure your mum would approve of that.
He'll have a fire in front of him, and he'll just have his arms out and just fall into the fire.
He'll be like the Burning Man. Like douse himself in petrol and just run up and down around Adelaide Oval, or what's the Rundle Mall? The Burning Man, Lucas. I did say to him tonight, either come on with 3 or 4 layers of clothes on tonight, because he normally comes on half naked, if not all naked. I said either that or double down and have it and come to us from your bubble bath in your bathroom. run a hot bath. But no, he went full Sith Lord tonight, which we appreciate. So
it was just a 4-point. Well, imagine it was by 100 or something.
I wouldn't want. I don't know if we'd be able to have a show. We'd have to actually hold it really late at night, or I'd have to have just a special, because he'd probably get us demonetized or banned, or he'd do something. Hello, if you're still listening, Lucas. I'm sure you know where to draw the line, but yeah, it'll be interesting anyway. No chance of a nipple from you tonight. Clearly, that's not your go. You're not going to finish the show off with a nipple or two. It's just not your thing.
I think so. I wouldn't come with a scarf or something, or a jumper, or.
What have I got behind me? Oh, I've got. No, it's too cold in here. I've got the heat. I've actually bought myself a little heater to get on during the middle of winter because we are coming into the colder months of the year. And hang on, kid brought a knife and gun a couple of games ago.
Oh yeah,
that's why they're cracking down a little bit more. So someone did bring a knife and a fake gun to a footy game either today or yesterday. So that's still happening. So the AFL probably sent a word around.
Oh yeah, for sure. In our team, Mark O'Connor, he was good last week on the goalie, but I can't remember one intercept mark tonight our backline had. Like in our defense.
Maybe Guthrie had a couple, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah.
But usually they stand out and I remember them, but no, tonight I just couldn't remember one intercept mark we took.
No, we
tonight.
just got beaten so many times. We just didn't read the flight of the ball. We just couldn't. We weren't organised. Can't remember who said it. It looked like Connor O'Sullivan had probably won a down game. I don't want to drop a young bloke for having a down game, but there's also the argument that maybe sometimes you've got to give the young guys a rest every now and then and just, I'm not saying send him back to the VFL, but just like the old guys, they need a rest every now and then. That the young guys too. It's those guys in their early 20s that can probably play 22 games a year. But yeah, every now and then you got to rest some young guys. So maybe his body's telling him he just needs a bit of a break. He's
probably
pretty tough gig. I don't know. He'll probably play all games this year, and good on him if he does.
Either one of Stuart, Colajasny, or Henry comes back in. Most likely Stuart, I guess it will be. Yeah, we just need one of them, I guess. Back team.
Stuart, Henry, Colajasny, Humphreys, pretty much all our defenders, and then who else? Well, that's probably in the short term anyway. We've written off the other bloke who's unavailable at the moment. We don't really talk about him, but we're just assuming that he's gone. So
yeah, the George Stevens for Clark.
Oh, another debut.
It has to happen. I can't see.
I'd be interested in having a look at it, see what it does to the midfield.
Yeah, because imagine Clark. He's going up against Butters, Rosie, Horn, Francis. It's not.
I think the coaches see a lot more upside with Jai Clark long term, and I just feel like they're not convinced with Stevens. I think he's probably like a Mitch Hardy type that just he'll look great in the VFL, but maybe he's just never going to make it. He's been emergency a couple of times. So
all good in the VFL, they just can't come up to the AFL level and produce it. It'd be frustrating. It's frustrating for them, and frustrating for us.
Well, you never expect a young player to play at an elite level in their first 10 games. But you want to be able to see something. It's like like what we're seeing now with Connor O'Sullivan. Like he only got one game last year because he clearly wasn't ready. And he's got a game this year because Colajasny was injured, and he's just done enough every week to say, he hasn't been that bad. We'll keep him another week, and then he just gets a little bit better and a little bit better. And there's players like that this year. I think probably Ollie Dempsey was just one that sort of just like came from nowhere. I mean, we sort of saw a little bit of him in the last few years, but he surprised the AFL world last year with what a jump he made, which was very impressive.
Yeah. Or is it Mitch Nevitt who comes in for Clark? Is Mitch Nevitt?
Mitch Nevitt's got one of those plantar fascia injuries, which it's going to be really hard to manage. And I don't think they're going to take too many risks with him. It's probably like a lot of players that just are on the injury list at the moment. These ones can just drag on and on and on. But, who knows? I was shocked that Jed Buse came straight back in. So someone in the chat said he rang the coaches during the week and said, play me. He just wants to play.
Teams. Jay Polkinghorn got named as on the extended on Thursday. I thought that was. They usually don't do that. Just add a random name along. And for some reason, I was Thursday night. They might play him for some reason because they just need another tool or something. I don't know, but
he's not far off it. No, he's not. He's not too far off it. I just don't know if he's going to come in. It might be for someone like Ollie Henry. I just don't know if they want to drop Ollie Henry just yet. I think they're still hoping they can play Ollie Henry back into form. I don't know if they're like for like same type of players, but Polkinghorne plays up forward and gets 7 or 8 touches a game as a forward. Usually kicks accurately. Today in the curtain raiser, he didn't kick that accurately.
So Lucas before was saying like our VFL team plays with like more heart and stuff. They lost by about 40 against GWS today or something.
Yeah, I'm just
not saying don't try or anything, but
I'm just pulling up that score today to see how he went. Geez, where are you? Goals. Did he get a goal? Jay Polk. Oh, he got 2 goals. So last time I checked it, he was no goals 3, and then he ended up getting 2 goals 3 from 10 touches, 1 tackle. The stats are pretty limited. There's no meters gained or anything like that. It's very basic sort of stat keeping in the VFL.
Yeah.
Kruger, Ollie Wiltshire went back, kicked a goal from 18 touches, and George Stevens got a goal from 24 touches. Yeah.
I think it's time for I just you got to try. You can't just not like try and see Clark's game today and just think that they might think he's better, but just give him some time off, I guess, to work on his skills.
Don't be surprised, and I'm going to keep saying this, and I kept saying this about Lawson Humphreys last year until he finally got a chance. Patrick Rechko should be getting a game at some stage, and when he does, everyone will be like, who the hell where's this bloke been hiding? Patrick Rechko, give the man a game. He's so close, and he's never been named at emergency yet, so I don't know what he's got to do, but I just love everything I've seen of him at VFL level. I can't wait till he gets a chance. I hope he does. It may not be this year, but
yeah,
I feel like he could come on for, I don't know, like a Connor or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. He looked good. 24 touches and a goal today. 25 touches and a goal. Just got to lay a couple of tackles. 7 marks.
Like in the defense or like?
He runs and runs and runs. So I think might sort of start down half back or something like that and just goes. But he's a good link-up player. He kicks it, he runs, he gets on the end of it again. He just looks very professional. Doesn't sort of get too phased by making a mistake or doing a good thing. He just gets on with it. He's just a pro. He's just building it slowly and just one of those guys that's just under the radar, I think. So I guess interesting. Yeah, the coaches haven't sort of seen that way. They probably just want to reward George Stevens, second-year player, and Polkinghorne is a high draft pick. I don't know. I can see Jay Polkinghorne just looking okay at VFL level, but probably when he gets a chance, he'll look actually really good at AFL level. It's just a matter of time with Polkinghorne. He'll definitely be an AFL player. It's just, just when they want to give him that chance. So it may just be with an injury. He'll get his 1 or 2 games this year, and then we'll see what happens.
Martin play again.
Jack Martin. That is a good question. Will Jack Martin?
The day he was on our list, I'm on the injury report. I was like, oh yeah, he is.
I'm going to put that in the chat. Will Jack Martin play this year? Hang on. Keyboard. So this microphone gets in the way. While I'm doing that, give me your 3, 2, 1 votes.
I'll do 3. Can I do it? I'll do a 3, 2, 1 for best, and then can I do a worst one as well?
You definitely can.
All right, 3. I'll give to Bailey Smith. Just thought, just another. He'd definitely be winning our BNF at the moment, and up there in the Brownlow. 34 tackles. Stand out. Max Holmes, I guess, probably his best game for the season. I guess 30 touches I saw. Thought he used the ball. It was just the way he got the ball in the midfield and can just run with that speed. Thought that was very good. I'll give 1 vote to Ollie Dempsey, I reckon. It's the way I thought he used the ball forward. I think he got a few goal assists as well. He had 20 and 2. I just thought, he almost got us over the line, I guess.
Go the other way. Who's the worst? I feel bad about this one.
I might do a top 3 for maybe the worst because I just feel like it at the moment. I'm not going to put Jai Clark in there because we probably was.
Too easy. It's
too
easy, that. Yeah.
It's a bit too easy. One vote for worst on. I know who 3 would be, but 1 and 2. All right, 3 would be DeConing. Lucas.
Apparently, we've copied his segment. I'm sure we've done it once before on this show, Lou. I'm sure we've done it before. Anyway.
Triple M used to in the day, like the worst on. And it used to some that was just a bit of fun and didn't always end up like a player who would get the worst. It would be like something else that happened during the day or something.
I feel bad though. Like if on the off chance, and I'm sure it doesn't. I'm sure they don't come on this show or watch this show. But if they did, I just feel so bad that I'm such a wanker for having a crack at them. Like, and they're just out there trying their hardest. And here I am.
Like imagine how like we'd go.
Oh,
you know what? For Lucas's sake, I will not do a worst on ground.
All right.
If there's any players out there, you are way better at football than we will ever be. We're in the stands, like paying your contracts.
Yep. Can you imagine, like, me just coming up to you at uni and just saying, "Oh, you're shit." Like that aside, you're shit, you're rubbish, and then everywhere you walk around the campus or whatever, everyone's just giving you shit. You're rubbish. Like, they're just doing a job. Like it's their job, and we just come at them. It's like this kind of thing. Oh, it's not real because they're playing on a footy field or they're on our TV screen. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I could handle that. I don't have the psychology to be an AFL footballer. I probably wouldn't be able to cope with it. I don't reckon.
You got to have some sort of like special training or something to not let it get to you, I guess.
Harley, we will try not to upset the Sith Lord anymore. We'll try not to. I do blame Ben, though. The other Ben. Actually, Ben's worst player, go ahead, or 10 years of all right, 10 years of banishment to Exegol. That's a deep cut for any Star Wars nerds out there. Terrible movie, Rise of Skywalker. But anyway, worst player on the ground. Well, I'm gonna take the cheater's way out. I'm gonna say Jai Clark, even though I didn't really notice him too much.
Yeah. The worst on maybe Jeremy Cameron second half.
Yeah.
Get into it when we needed him. We just needed maybe a few good minutes out of him in that second half, and maybe we get over the line or something. It's
worst on. Who was really driving me nuts? Let me just look at this again. Jack Bowes is, mate, that's probably a month worth of me banging my head against the door with Jack Bowes. Drives me nuts.
Into the halfback, and usually those players they stand out and they can get their easy touches. He just can't do it at the moment.
Jack Bowes for 2 votes, second worst on the ground, and my little whipping boy, my lovely little Irish whipping boy, Oisin Mullen, for the 1 vote. Just not there. I could have given it to Ollie Henry, but for that drop mark, 7 touches, 1 tackle. Show us something, Ollie. Show us something, please. Sorry, Lucas. There you go. Sam, middling team at best. Why is Paul so positive? I'm going to pull this one up. Why is Paul so positive? We're barely in the 8. Our standards and expectations of Geelong Sports top 4 at all times. That's why we're so good. Lower standards. Paul, couldn't have said it any better, Sam. Let him know all about it. Let him know.
The ball, Bliksarv's ball, doesn't hit the post, travel through, and we walk away with the win. We probably don't really care about the negatives like DeConing's game or Clark's game even.
We've forgotten about it. We've already forgotten about it. We're in the car park. We're doing cartwheels. We're high-fiving strangers. We don't care anymore.
Team selection.
Jai Clark, we love you. Yeah.
Yeah, we'd probably try and come up with like something positive about the game or something like he had like one of his 3 touches. It had a score involvement or something that was just an important.
Yep. No, that tap he did, or that pressure act that he did. It's like all the difference.
First moment in the game, I reckon, was Mitch Duncan, where he could have gone for the mark and tapped the ball through for a point. And the scores were level at this stage and put him in front by a point. And if we had lost by a point, that would
You could make a mixtape, and we need to get someone onto this. Get all the Mitch Duncan moments.
That was
the handball.
If that was in any other game where a player did that and their team lost by a point, an opposition game, that would 100% be enough of the week on this show.
Oh,
Paul.
I think Paul's recorded enough of the week. I think he's done it already.
It would have 100% been enough of the week, but we didn't lose by a point. But we scored a point, which lost us the game in the end.
Yep, we were average, but no, it is funny how you flip those ones, and all of a sudden you're amazing. But it wasn't meant to be, unfortunately. I don't know. Yeah, I think we've got. I know Paul's recorded his reaction video. He hasn't done his Nuff of the Week video yet. I'm not sure when that's coming out. His reaction video is 17 minutes. He's smiling in the bloody picture. Paul, what are you doing? You're smiling like we've just lost a heartbreaker, and he's grinning from ear to ear for some reason. It's not the final product, the final thumbnail, but Paul, if you're still watching, if you're laying in bed in your Ninja Turtle pajamas and you are watching, you need to send me some because his partner is good on the camera, so we need to get some profile shots.
That's
of Paul.
Ridiculous, Paul. That's like.
And do you think we need a Ninja Turtle marathon with Paul? I think we do. I think we need to get him to maybe just do a live stream. We'll probably get demonetized, but that's okay. We'll get him to do that.
With Lucas, something just happens.
Yeah. We'll see. Aaron Beard, welcome to the chat, Aaron Beard. Bit late in the piece. Just got home to Wodonga. Wow, the commitment to jump straight on postgame live after a 4-hour trip to Wodonga. I hope you had your 5G or your 4G and you were just listening to us in the car. And you couldn't chat away, but I'm glad you got home safe.
Speaking of 5G, one of the positives at GMHBA Stadium now is the internet works.
Oops, didn't work for me. I don't know who are you? Who I don't know how you got it. I couldn't get anything.
Oh.
No.
Now I was going to give it a rap for finally having internet, but
nothing for me. Maybe it's just where I'm sitting. I'm next to some radioactive device or something. I just can't seem to get a signal at all. I don't know what it is. I give up. I'm glad they put the stats on the big screen. That's all I can say.
Yes, that's the thing I need to do, to look at the stats for each game, because I do my own Brownlow as well. After each game, do a 3-2-1.
Is Patrick Cripps in the 50s yet with the votes? Is he got 50 votes already?
Brownlow and against us as well. That game. Yeah,
that doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me. All right, let's wrap the show up. I reckon. Let's call it a night. I keep saying to my partner, I don't want it to go for 3 hours. 2 hours and 38 minutes is probably enough. Hey, look, let me just say, I appreciate you hanging on this long. I'd love to get to a point where I've got 15 to 20 people in I don't know what we call the thing down the bottom. I don't know what it looks like on your screen, but there's a little thing down the bottom where I can see everyone's faces. If we can, had like 10 minutes each and we get through about 20 people, that'd be great.
Sure.
We're not quite there yet. I think we've got to build the show up a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe if I'm not doing the show and someone else is putting on post-game live, I don't know if I'd want to watch it because you come on and Ben's going to be grumpy. But then there's probably 13 GWS supporters that want to come on and watch it too. So just to, look at us get all salty for a few hours.
GWS, this will probably come back to haunt me or something. But they'll just choke in the finals anyway. We all know that. Because they're here. Oh man.
I think Shadu, if you're still watching Shadu, not Shadu, Magnus. I'm sorry I've made you wait so long. I think it looks like you've dropped out of the chat, but if you're still around and you want to jump back on, I'll give you 10 minutes before I wrap the show. Otherwise, I'll say goodnight, and I'll if you come on next week, I'll bump you up. I'll get you first or second on next week. I promise. That's a Hoops Crew promise right there for you. I've got to think about. I'll let you go. Before I wrap the show up, I'll start thinking about who I'm going to give the pizza to. You might be in the running. You possibly could be in the running for waiting so long. I don't think anyone's ever waited that long.
Well, I work at Coles, and the other week I went to Shannon Pizza. It was on a Friday. It was on a Friday night, and it had a, you know, how it has a TV in the screen, and it had Friends on. It just felt like the most New York sort of, and it was like, you know, it's a pretty small shop as well. It just felt like the most New York vibes about it of all time.
Yep. No, it's good. And they're good there. Anthony in there who look after you. We're still trying, Anthony, if you're watching, we're trying to get the Hoops Crew special. We want to get a special pizza named after the Hoops Crew. I've got to get some Hoops Crew merch out there at some point. We'll figure that one out. If you're interested in some Hoops Crew merch, I'm not wearing. I should be wearing the Hoops Crew shirt that I've got. But anyway, I'm sure you can. There's a link somewhere on the show for that.
We should get some personality pizzas like the Lucas pizza. It's about $50.
Yes, the Dark Lord pizza. That's probably
like the hottest pizza out of all of them, or something.
Copyright. We can't use a Star Wars thing. The Darth Lucas or something like that. He's mixing it up every year. He's definitely sorry. My Queen Vince. I'm telling you, Vince is at the ballet. Either that or Vince had too many champagnes at the ballet last week and looked back at the video and thought, oh my God, what was I doing? Vince, come back on, please. It's not too late, Vince. Oh dear. Yeah, next week. We'll get you on for next week. Ben, thanks again, mate. I'm going to let you go. Hopefully we'll be back on the top 4 bandwagon again next June. Not so much doom the next week. Not so much doom and gloom.
We won't care about the team still. We won't care if we win next week and Jai Clark's playing and
no
one touch.
All hail Joe Clark next week for sure. See you, buddy. Go Cat.
See you, go Cats.
Take care. Oh, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks. It looks like we've got a few people on Twitter watching as well. If you are watching on Twitter/X, hello, welcome. I mean, most of you probably know me from that, or know the channel at least. I'm usually dealing with the socials on that side of things. Come on over to the YouTube side of it, though. Come on over to the light side of the force, because it does help the channel. Push it to more eyeballs if you're watching it on this one, but every now and then we'll drop it on Twitter for those that want to watch it on that one. But it's been a fun show. I'm feeling a little bit better, a bit more. It was a cathartic episode for me. I was not happy, Jan, at all after the game, but I'm glad I did this. Often I don't feel like doing it. I really don't. Lucas Angry Pizza, that is the name of the pizza. No pizza, just Coke with ice. Okay. Yuck. No good. If you've got any good pizza names, let us know. Who am I going to give the pizza to? I did star a couple of names here. Sam, I starred you before. That was disgusting. With so many passengers. We're not hungry for success. No concern. Players win, lose, or draw. We're very lucky to finish top 10. Yeah, I agree with that. No good. Tahir was on earlier, but dropped out. DK gave Hogan way too much space. Yeah, I agree. Jezelenko's always in the chat. Neil needs a cloak glove. Say it every bloody week. Roaming Crag is the first one in the chat every week, pretty much. always with a hello, nice and early. Love your work, Roaming. Either moment. Do Shannon cut their pizzas, or is it just one big pie? I reckon if you give Anthony a smile and a wink, he'll cut it any way you want. He'll shred it up into whatever sort of arrangement. He'll do little squiggly lines that make no sense at all. You just tell him what you want to do. Put the order. I don't think you can do that online. I don't think they have an online ordering system, but yeah, just tell them what you want, and I'm sure they'll cut it which way, 6 ways from Sunday. I'm sure they'll be happy to do that. I do like that comment either moment. TOGF, I'm sure that means something. I just can't think of it at this time of night. I take no positives from this match. It's always the same every year against the Giants. Close game, but they kick the last goal and they win. It was Toby last time. And a little bit of a drive-by from Terry, criticising those players low on form doesn't help. They're going to be peaks and troughs as boys climb the mountain, but playing in so many close ones can be beneficial in the long run. Bit of common sense there from Terry, straightening us up a little bit. Thanks for that, Terry. I do love a bit of feedback. Appreciate you in the comments there. As much as I love the comments, I am going to give the pizza to good man Ben Harris. Waited about 2 hours in the chat to come on. I can't believe he waited that long. I thought he was going to drop out. I was sure of it. So, Ben, there's a Shannon Pizza coming your way. Wander down there after Coles one night and grab it. Tell him to cut it any way you want. I'll let Anthony know. And let us know what you get. And tell him that you want a Angry Lucas special, I think. What is it? Like shout out Cyril Cook. Oh, yes, got to do the shout out to Cyril Cook. Gee, we're going to get Lucas on the payroll. Shout out to Cyril Cook Florist. Where are we? The sponsor. Thank you, Cyril Cook Florist. If you didn't get your flowers from Cyril Cook for Mother's Day, what were you doing? Seriously, get your head red. Come on. You're better than that. You're better than that. And thank you again, Shannon Pizza. I've given him a few plugs tonight. Thank you very much. Everyone, it's a loss. It's a loss. We're 5-4. We've been here before. We have gone on a 16-game winning streak and won the premiership once before. I don't think that's going to happen again, at least not 16 games in a row. Who knows what the rest of the season will look like. But as you know, you have some wins, you have some losses. There's good days and bad. And hopefully we have a few more wins this year. That'd be nice. I would like that very muchly. Thank you for watching me, as always. If you're on YouTube watching us and you haven't already hit that subscribe button, please do. If you're not feeling that generous, though, and you don't want to hit that subscribe button because you don't want to be bombed with our stupid videos every other day, hit the like button. That helps as well. So there you go. If you're still watching at this point, 2.5 hours in, 2 hours and 47 minutes in, that's not asking a lot, is it? Come on, you can do it. Thank you very much. Appreciate everyone for coming on, as I always do. Apologies to Magnus. As I said, I'm getting you on early next time, Magnus. Promise you that. The Hoops Crew promise. The Hoops Crew guarantee. Thanks, everyone. Good night, chat. Love you, Jezza. Love you, Lucas. Love you, Yarra Ward. Yes, everyone in the chat. I apologies I've missed anyone. Ben, congratulations on the pizza. I'll get that voucher to you in the next day or so. Everyone, it's been fun, as always, but we've got to say goodnight. I'm going to play the little outro song. If you don't like it, it's a bit of AI stuff. Piss off. Otherwise, enjoy rocking out to the Hoops Crew anthem. Take care, everyone. Go Cats. See you in the next one.
It's time for the show. Dropping pussy town facts, mitts, forwards and backs. Representing G-Town while talking the smack. Clashing facts like Patty, where the hell you at? Hoops Crew are exploding, don't ever look back. Then we got Paul, yeah, he knows his stuff. He's a man, he's a myth, taking on the nuts. The man don't miss, he loves to react. His words cut deep, he's a counterattack. Paul's on fire, brings a mic to life. Don't fuck with P-Dog if you value your life. Oh, they fuck shit up, yeah, they run G-Town. The Hoops Crew's here and they'll never back down. Jake, Johnny, Sambo, always rocking the game. Betty and Paul, man, remember the names. In the studio, Jake's bringing the noise. With Johnny and Sambo, the chaps chat boys, hell electric, and they're ready to roll. The boys are on fire and they're taking control. Recaps and previews, yeah, they cover it all. Part of the Hoops Crew with Betty and Paul. They fuck shit up, yeah, they run G-Town. The Hoops Crew, baby, they'll never back down. Jake, Johnny, Sambo, always rocking the game. Betty and Paul, chasing glory and fame. Back with the Jones and Jack Bowes. Tommy fucking Atkins, he'll break your damn nose. Stewie in the middle and Reese in the ruck. They see Big Jezza and they know they're fucked. They're the T-Town boys, go hard or go